What if Naruto didn't just master chakra, but learned how to rewrite reality itself? In this story, Naruto awakens an ancient Uzumaki power that lets him bend the laws of the world, turning weapons into paper, changing fate, and even challenging death. But the real question is, when Naruto gains the power to fix everything, will he save the world or accidentally become its greatest threat? This story is divided into 6 powerful chapters, so watch till the end. And if you enjoy Naruto What If stories, make sure to like, subscribe, and share, because this one is about to break reality itself.
The village hated him before he even understood what hatred was. Naruto Uzumaki learned it in pieces. He learned it from the way shopkeepers stopped smiling when he walked through their doors. He learned it from the way mothers pulled their children away from him, whispering warnings behind trembling hands. He learned it from the empty swing at the academy, from birthday candles he never blew out, from bowls of instant ramen eaten alone under a leaking roof while the rest of Konoha laughed beneath warm windows. Nobody told him why. That was the worst part. If someone had screamed the truth at him, maybe he could have fought it. If someone had pointed at him and said, "You are hated because of this," maybe Naruto could have found something to punch, something to argue with, something to prove wrong. But the hatred came without explanation, like rain. Like winter, like the world had simply decided he was wrong, so Naruto became loud. If silence made people forget him, he would become noise. If empty streets swallowed him, he would paint the Hokage monument. If nobody looked at him with love, they would look at him with anger. Anger was still attention, and to a lonely child, attention was almost the same as warmth. Almost. That evening, Naruto ran until his legs burned. He had not meant to cry in front of them. He had not meant to hear the words, monster, demon brat. Why does Lord Hokage let that thing live? The last word followed him through the alleys. Thing, not boy, not child. Thing. Naruto ran past the market, past the academy, past the training grounds where older children threw kunai beneath the watchful eyes of proud parents. Nobody called after him. Nobody asked where he was going. The village gates rose in the distance, guarded and impossible, so Naruto turned instead into the forest beyond the quieter edge of Konoha. Branches scratched his arms. Mud splashed his sandals. His orange jacket caught on thorns and tore at the sleeve. He did not stop. He ran until the village lights became small yellow dots behind him. He ran until his breath came out broken. He ran until the sky opened and rain began to fall. Only then did Naruto collapse beneath an old shrine hidden between twisted trees. It was not a proper shrine anymore. Maybe it had been once. The roof sagged. The steps were cracked. Paper charms hung in rotted strips from the entrance. A stone fox statue sat near the door, one ear broken, its face covered with moss. Naruto dragged himself beneath the roof and hugged his knees. For a long time, the only sound was rain. Then Naruto whispered, "What did I do?" The forest did not answer. His throat tightened. What did I do wrong? Still nothing. His small hands clenched into fists. "I'm trying," he said, voice shaking. "I'm trying so hard. I smile, I laugh, I train. I get back up. I always get back up." The rain fell harder. Naruto looked toward the distant glow of Konoha. From here, the village looked beautiful, peaceful, like a place where families slept safely and children were loved. His eyes burned. So why won't anyone look at me like I'm real? The moment those words left his mouth, the rain stopped, not everywhere, just around him. Naruto blinked. Beyond the shrine roof, rain continued to fall through the forest in silver curtains. But in the space directly around Naruto, the drops hung motionless in the air, thousands of them. Tiny beads of water floated like glass, frozen between sky and earth. Naruto's breath caught. He reached out with one trembling finger and touched a raindrop. It rippled, not like water, like a mirror. The ripple passed through the air itself, spreading outward in a perfect circle. The hanging drops shimmered. The broken paper charms along the shrine entrance lifted without wind. The moss-covered fox statue groaned as its broken ear slowly repaired itself, stone crawling back into shape like time had changed its mind. Naruto scrambled backward. What? His back hit the shrine wall. Inside the abandoned shrine, something cracked. Naruto turned. A small mirror lay on the floor near the altar. It was old, clouded, and broken down the middle. As Naruto stared at it, the crack sealed. The broken line vanished completely. The mirror became whole. For one impossible second, Naruto saw his reflection clearly. But it was not only him. Behind his reflection stood dozens of other Narutos. One wore a Hokage cloak. One had cold red eyes. One stood taller, calmer, with seals spiraling across his arms. One smiled with kindness Naruto did not yet know how to wear. One looked like he had stopped caring about the world altogether. Naruto screamed. The rain crashed down all at once. The mirror shattered again. The stone fox lost its repaired ear. The paper charms fell dead against the shrine entrance. Naruto sat frozen, soaked and shaking, staring at the broken mirror. For several minutes he did not move. Then, slowly, he crawled toward it. His reflection stared back in jagged pieces, just one Naruto now. A scared boy with wet hair and wide blue eyes. Naruto swallowed. Was that me? The forest answered with thunder. By morning, Naruto had convinced himself it was a dream. A weird dream. A scary dream, probably from expired milk. That explanation made sense. Expired milk had betrayed him before. It could definitely betray him again. So Naruto went back to the village. He laughed too loudly. He stole breakfast from his own nearly empty cupboard. He pretended nothing strange had happened, but reality had already noticed him. And once reality notices a lonely boy asking why he is not real, it does not easily look away. Days passed. Then came the academy exam. Naruto failed again. Iruka-sensei stood in front of him with that painful look in his eyes, not hatred, not disgust, but disappointment. Somehow that hurt worse. Naruto, Iruka said gently, you need to create 3 proper clones to pass. Naruto stared at the 3 pale, floppy, half-dead versions of himself lying on the classroom floor. One of them twitched. Another made a sad little noise. The third looked like it had given up on life. Someone laughed. Then more students joined in. Naruto's face burned. I did the jutsu. He shouted. Iruka sighed. You produce chakra, yes, but these are not functional clones. They look like me, Naruto. They do, Naruto. The room grew quieter. Naruto hated that tone, that soft tone, that almost kind tone. It made him feel smaller than yelling ever could. Iruka lowered his clipboard. You failed. The words landed like a stone in Naruto's stomach. Failed again. The other students began leaving with their new forehead protectors shining proudly on their heads. Parents waited outside. Friends cheered. Sasuke Uchiha walked past silently, already wearing his protector like the world owed him victory. Sakura squealed somewhere outside. Naruto remained seated. The classroom emptied. Iruka stayed behind for a moment, looking like he wanted to say something. Naruto did not let him. He jumped to his feet, shoved his hands into his pockets, and forced a grin so wide it hurt. Whatever, I didn't even want some stupid headband anyway, Naruto. I'm gonna become Hokage without it, then everyone's gonna beg me to wear one. He ran before Iruka could answer. That evening, Mizuki found him on the swing. The Chunin's voice was soft, friendly. Too friendly, Naruto should have noticed, but lonely children are easy to trick when someone finally speaks to them like they matter. There is another way to pass, Mizuki said. Naruto looked up. His eyes were red from holding back tears. What do you mean? Mizuki smiled. And by midnight, Naruto Uzumaki had stolen the scroll of sealing. He carried it into the forest, heart pounding, laughter bubbling nervously in his throat. This was it, his chance. He would learn some amazing jutsu. He would show Iruka. He would become a real ninja. Everyone would finally stop looking at him like he was a mistake. Naruto unrolled the massive scroll beneath the trees. Okay, he muttered, scanning the first technique. Shadow clone jutsu, his face twisted. Clones, seriously, of course. The universe hated him so much that even the secret forbidden scroll wanted him to study clones. Still, Naruto read and read and read. The symbols made his head hurt. The chakra instructions were complicated but not impossible. Shadow clones were different from regular clones. They needed real chakra, real substance, real division of self. Naruto frowned. Division of self. For some reason, the words made him remember the mirror, the other Narutos, the ones who were him but not him. A cold wind moved through the trees. Naruto swallowed and kept practicing. Hours later, Iruka found him. Naruto turned, exhausted but proud. Iruka-sensei, I learned this awesome jutsu. Mizuki-sensei told me if I learned one from the scroll, you'd let me graduate. Iruka's face went pale. Mizuki told you that. Naruto's smile faltered. Before Iruka could explain, a giant shuriken spun out of the darkness, straight toward Naruto's back. Iruka moved without hesitation. He shoved Naruto aside. The shuriken sank into Iruka instead. Blood hit the grass. Naruto stared. For a moment, the whole world went silent. Iruka had protected him. No, that was too small a word. Iruka had taken the hit for him, for Naruto, the boy everyone hated, the boy everyone called monster. Naruto's mind could not hold it. Mizuki stepped from the trees, laughing. Well, touching, isn't it? Iruka collapsed to one knee, the shuriken buried in his back. Naruto's voice came out thin. Iruka-sensei, why? Iruka gritted his teeth. Run, Naruto. Mizuki laughed louder. Yes, run. That's all monsters are good for. Naruto froze. Iruka's head snapped up. Mizuki, don't. But Mizuki's smile widened. You really don't know, do you? He said, eyes glittering. 12 years ago, the Ninetales attacked this village. It killed Iruka's parents. It slaughtered shinobi. It destroyed everything. Naruto's breathing became shallow. And then the fourth Hokage sealed it inside a newborn baby. The forest seemed to tilt. Mizuki pointed at him. You, Naruto could not move. You are the Ninetales, Naruto. You are the demon everyone hates. Something inside Naruto cracked, not loudly, not like glass, like a rule breaking. The rain from that night flashed in his memory. The mirror, the floating drops, the other versions of himself. Naruto looked at Iruka. Iruka was not denying it. That hurt more than Mizuki's words. Naruto took one step back. No, he whispered. Mizuki raised another giant shuriken. Yes. Iruka tried to stand. Naruto, listen to me. Shut up, Mizuki roared. You think he deserves kindness. That thing killed your parents. Iruka's face twisted in pain, but his voice was firm. Naruto is not the fox. Naruto looked up. Iruka dragged himself in front of him despite the blood soaking his vest. He is Naruto Uzumaki, Iruka said. A student of mine. A loud, stubborn, reckless brat who works harder than anyone gives him credit for. Naruto's eyes widened. Iruka smiled through the pain. And he is not a monster. Mizuki's expression darkened. Then die with him. He threw the shuriken. It spun through the air, huge and lethal, aimed directly at Iruka's chest. Naruto screamed. No, the word hit the world like a command. The shuriken stopped inches from Iruka, not froze, stopped. As if the air had become a hand and caught it. The metal groaned. Mizuki's eyes widened. Iruka stared. Naruto stood behind him, shaking, tears running down his face, blue eyes burning with something that was not chakra and not fire. I said no, Naruto whispered. The shuriken folded once, twice. Again, its steel surface whitened, thinned, softened. In less than a second, the deadly weapon became paper. A giant paper shuriken drifted harmlessly to the ground. Nobody breathed. Then the forest changed. The trees bent away from Naruto. The grass flattened in a spiral around his feet. The air filled with faint red-gold symbols, twisting and vanishing too quickly for Iruka to read. Mizuki stumbled back. What are you? Naruto did not answer. He raised his hands. The shadow clone jutsu surged through him, but something else surged with it, not just chakra, possibility. Shadow clone jutsu. The forest exploded with smoke. When it cleared, hundreds of Narutos stood among the trees. But Iruka noticed immediately some were wrong, not wrong like failed clones, wrong like impossible answers. One Naruto stood perfectly still, eyes cold and sharp, his orange jacket darker somehow, as if soaked in shadow. Another wore a torn Hokage cloak, older and exhausted, with a sadness too heavy for a child's face. Another had red chakra crawling across his skin. Another smiled gently, hands folded, calm as sunrise. Another looked at Mizuki and whispered he should disappear. The air trembled. Mizuki screamed and charged. The clones moved. The beating was fast, brutal, and terrifyingly coordinated. Some clones attacked with fists, some with kicks. Some seemed to step through spaces that were too short or too long. One clone ducked before Mizuki even moved. Another appeared behind him without crossing the distance between. Naruto himself stood frozen in the middle of it all, horrified. He had wanted clones. He had not wanted this. When it was over, Mizuki lay unconscious in a crater shaped like a spiral. The clones turned toward Naruto. For one terrible second, he felt them, their anger, their loneliness, their possible futures. The cruel one wanted revenge. The hawkish one wanted restraint. The silent one wanted nothing at all. Naruto clutched his head. Go away. They vanished. The forest returned to normal, almost. The paper shuriken remained. Iruka stared at it, then at Naruto. Naruto lowered his hands slowly. Iruka-sensei, his voice broke. Am I really a monster? Iruka's expression softened. Despite his injury, despite the impossible thing he had just witnessed, Iruka pulled Naruto close. Naruto froze as arms wrapped around him. Real arms, warm arms, not a trick, not a dream, not someone pretending. Iruka held him tightly. No, Iruka said. You're Naruto Uzumaki. Naruto's face crumpled. He cried like a child who had been waiting 12 years for permission. Iruka let him. The next morning, the third Hokage stood in the forest alone. Anbu had already taken Mizuki away. Iruka had been rushed to the hospital. Naruto, exhausted beyond reason, was asleep under guard. Hiruzen Sarutobi crouched beside the paper shuriken. He touched it with 2 fingers. It looked like paper, it felt like paper, but his senses told him the truth. It had been steel. The third Hokage's face grew grave. Impossible. He whispered. A masked Anbu knelt nearby. Lord Hokage. Hiruzen did not respond at first. Instead, he looked at the spiral pattern burned faintly into the grass around the battlefield. Not fire damage, not chakra damage. A seal, no, older than a seal. The suggestion of a seal. A command written without ink. His mind traveled back decades, to dusty records recovered from Uzushiogakure after its fall. Most had been damaged. Many had been sealed beyond opening. But Hiruzen remembered one phrase from a forbidden Uzumaki text. When the blood is strong enough, the seal no longer binds reality, it instructs it. Hiruzen closed his eyes. Kushina, he thought heavily. What did your clan hide? The Anbu waited. Finally, Hiruzen stood. No one speaks of this, he ordered. The Anbu bowed. And Naruto? The masked shinobi asked. Hiruzen looked toward the village. For years, he had believed the Nine Tails was the greatest burden sealed inside Naruto. Now he was no longer certain. Naruto needs a teacher, Hiruzen said. Not just for jutsu. He turned away from the paper shuriken. He needs someone who can teach him control before his heart teaches the world pain. Later that day, Naruto woke in the hospital. Iruka was sitting beside his bed, heavily bandaged but alive. Naruto blinked. Iruka-sensei. Iruka smiled. About time you woke up. Naruto looked away, shame creeping up his face. Did I fail again? Iruka chuckled softly. Then he reached into his pouch. Naruto heard the soft sound of cloth. When he looked back, Iruka was holding a forehead protector, his forehead protector. Naruto stared at it, his lips parted. I don't understand. You learned a forbidden jutsu in one night, Iruka said. You saved my life. You defeated a traitor. And more importantly, he leaned forward and tied the protector around Naruto's forehead. You proved you are a ninja of the hidden leaf. Naruto touched the metal plate with trembling fingers. For a moment he could not speak. Then his face lit up, not with mischief, not with fake confidence, with joy, real joy. I did it, he whispered. Iruka smiled. You did it. Naruto grinned wider. I did it. The shout echoed down the hospital hallway. Several nurses yelled at him to be quiet. Naruto laughed anyway. But as Iruka watched him celebrate, his smile slowly faded. Because for 1 second, just one, the sunlight through the window bent toward Naruto. Like the world itself wanted to see him happy. That evening, Hiruzen summoned Kakashi Headache. Kakashi arrived late, as usual, one hand raised lazily. Yo, Hiruzen did not smile. Kakashi's visible eye sharpened. That's serious. The Hokage slid a sealed file across the desk. Kakashi opened it. Inside were mission reports, Anbu observations, sketches of the spiral pattern in the forest, and the paper shuriken sealed inside a containment scroll. Kakashi read silently, then again, then a third time. Finally, he looked up. This isn't the Nine Tails. No, Hiruzen said. Kurama's chakra may be feeding it, but this is something else. What exactly? Hiruzen leaned back, pipe untouched beside him, and Uzumaki inheritance, when even they feared. Kakashi's expression disappeared behind his mask and headband, but the room grew colder. What does it do? Hiruzen's voice was quiet. It changes rules. Kakashi said nothing. Outside the window, the village moved peacefully beneath the evening sky. Children ran home. Merchants closed shops. Shinobi leapt across rooftops. The world continued, unaware that one lonely boy had just told reality no, and reality had listened. Hiruzen looked at Kakashi with tired eyes. Naruto does not need someone to teach him how to become powerful, he said. Kakashi closed the file. The Hokage's voice lowered. He needs someone to teach him why power must have limits. Kakashi looked toward the village. Somewhere out there, Naruto Uzumaki was probably eating ramen, laughing too loudly, showing off his forehead protector to anyone unlucky enough to pass by. A boy, a Jinchuriki, and Uzumaki. And perhaps something the shinobi world had not seen since the age of myth. Kakashi sighed. Team 7, he muttered. Hiruzen raised an eyebrow. Kakashi gave a tired smile beneath his mask. Something tells me this year is going to be troublesome. Far away in the abandoned shrine deep within the forest, the broken mirror lay silent beneath dust and rainwater. Then, slowly, one crack sealed itself, and in the reflection, for just a heartbeat, a future Naruto opened his eyes. Naruto Uzumaki had worn his forehead protector for exactly 3 days. He had also shown it to every living person in Konoha at least twice. The ramen chef had seen it. The grocery woman had seen it. The old man who sold newspapers had seen it. A random dog had seen it. Naruto had even tried to show it to the Hokage monument by standing on top of the 4th Hokage's head and shouting, "Look at me, old guys. I'm official now." The village had responded with the usual mixture of irritation, yelling, and thrown objects. Naruto considered this a victory. Because this time, when people called him a brat, they had to call him a ninja brat. That made all the difference. Unfortunately, becoming a ninja also meant waiting in a classroom for a Jonin teacher who apparently did not understand time. Naruto sat with his arms folded, glaring at the door. "He's late." Sakura Haruno sat several desks away, trying very hard not to look annoyed. "You said that 5 minutes ago." And it was true 5 minutes ago. Sasuke Uchiha leaned near the window, silent and still, like someone had carved him out of boredom and superiority. Naruto pointed at him. "Even Sasuke agrees with me." Sasuke did not look at him. "I don't. You agree quietly. No, you're agreeing in your heart." "I'm not." Sakura snapped. "Naruto, stop bothering Sasuke-kun." Naruto leaned back in his chair with a dramatic groan. Team 7. That was what Iruka-sensei had called them. Naruto Uzumaki, Sakura Haruno, Sasuke Uchiha. On paper it sounded simple. 3 genin. 1 squad. 1 Jonin teacher. In reality, it felt like a punishment carefully designed by someone who hated him personally. Sakura only looked at Sasuke. Sasuke only looked at nothing, and Naruto was left to carry the entire team's personality by himself. Honestly, it was exhausting being this important. Still, beneath all his whining and shouting, Naruto kept touching the metal plate on his forehead protector. Every time his fingers brushed the symbol of the leaf, warmth spread through his chest. He had made it. He was a ninja, a real one. Nothing could ruin this. The classroom door slid open. A silver-haired man leaned inside, visible eye curved in lazy amusement. "Yo," Naruto stared. Sakura stared. Sasuke slowly turned. The man raised one hand. "Sorry, I'm late. A black cat crossed my path, so I had to take the long way around." Silence filled the room. Naruto's eye twitched. "You're lying." The man blinked. "Am I? Yes. Interesting. What makes you say that?" Naruto opened his mouth. Then stopped. He did not know how he knew. The answer sat in his stomach like a stone, not a thought, not a guess. A feeling. The man's words had bent slightly when he said them, not in sound and shape, like reality itself had quietly marked them as false. Naruto frowned. The room shifted. For 1 second, faint golden lines flickered around the Jonin's body. They twisted around his mouth, then snapped apart like threads. Sakura gasped. Sasuke's eyes narrowed. The Jonin's visible eye sharpened. Naruto stood so fast his chair fell backward. What was that? The man watched him carefully. What was what? The weird thing. Around your face. Sakura looked between them. "Naruto, what are you talking about?" Sasuke said nothing, but his attention had changed. He was watching Naruto now, really watching. The Jonin was quiet for a long moment. Then his relaxed posture returned. "Well," he said, "first impressions are important." He glanced at the fallen chair, Sakura's confusion, Sasuke's suspicion, and Naruto's defensive glare. "My first impression of you," he paused. Naruto leaned forward despite himself. The man smiled with his eye. You're all kind of annoying, Naruto exploded. You're the annoying one. A few minutes later, Team 7 stood on the academy roof. The village stretched below them beneath the morning sun. Wind moved softly across the rooftops. Birds circled above the Hokage monument. It should have felt peaceful. Instead, Naruto felt like he was standing in front of a trap with silver hair. Their Jonin teacher leaned against the railing and opened a small orange book. "I'm Kakashi Hatache," he said. "Things I like and dislike, I don't feel like telling you. My dreams for the future, never really thought about it. As for hobbies, I have lots of hobbies." Sakura blinked. "So all we learned is his name." Naruto pointed accusingly. "And that he's suspicious." Kakashi turned a page in his book. "Your turn. Start with the loud one." Naruto jumped onto the railing, pointing proudly at the sky. "I'm Naruto Uzumaki. I like ramen. I love ramen. My dream is to become Hokage, so everyone in this village will finally acknowledge me." The wind stilled, just for a second. Kakashi noticed. Sasuke noticed too. Sakura did not. Naruto did not seem to realize anything had happened. Kakashi's eye lowered slightly. The file had not exaggerated. When Naruto spoke from the deepest part of his heart, the world listened. Sakura went next, blushing through most of her introduction and carefully avoiding saying anything too direct about Sasuke. Then Sasuke spoke. "My name is Sasuke Uchiha. I dislike many things. I don't particularly like anything." His voice was cold. "What I have is not a dream, it is an ambition." Naruto's grin faded. Sasuke's eyes lowered. "I will restore my clan, and I will kill a certain man." The air grew heavy, not from chakra, from certainty. Naruto felt it press against his skin. Sasuke's words did not bend like Kakashi's lie. They sank, they locked. Like nails hammered into the future, Naruto did not like the feeling. Without thinking, he muttered, "That sounds lonely." Sasuke's head snapped toward him. "What?" Naruto blinked, surprised by his own words. "I said that sounds lonely." Sakura looked horrified. "Naruto?" Sasuke's hand clenched. The rooftop trembled. A tiny crack appeared beneath Naruto's sandal. Kakashi's eye flicked down. Naruto felt his chest tighten. He had not meant to make Sasuke angry. Well, not that angry. Usually he meant to make Sasuke a normal amount of angry, but Sasuke's glare carried something sharp and old. Naruto looked away first. "TCH. Whatever." Kakashi closed his book. "Tomorrow we'll begin your first exercise." Naruto perked up immediately. "A mission? A survival test?" Sakura frowned. "Survival test." Kakashi's voice stayed cheerful. "Yes, and if you fail, you go back to the academy." Naruto's soul left his body. "What?" Kakashi smiled. "Don't eat breakfast, you'll throw up." Then he vanished in a swirl of leaves. Naruto stared at the empty space. That guy is definitely evil. The next morning, Naruto ate breakfast anyway, not because he forgot. Because he believed no survival test could defeat the power of instant ramen. This confidence lasted until Kakashi tied Team 7 to 3 wooden posts and explained that only 2 bells existed. "Your goal is to take one of these bells from me before noon," Kakashi said, holding them up. "Whoever does not get a bell fails and goes back to the academy." Naruto's eyes narrowed. Sakura swallowed. Sasuke looked focused. Kakashi slipped one hand into his pocket. "Begin." Naruto charged immediately. "I'm not going back," Kakashi sighed. "Predictable." Naruto threw a punch. Kakashi dodged without moving more than necessary. Naruto kicked. Kakashi leaned aside. Naruto spun, shouted, jumped, swung, and missed every single time. Then Kakashi appeared behind him and lightly tapped the back of his head. Naruto face-planted into the dirt. Sakura winced from the bushes. Sasuke watched silently from a tree. Kakashi looked down at Naruto. "Ninja rule number 1, hide yourself." Naruto pushed himself up, spitting dirt. "Ninja rule number 2, punch the smug teacher." He launched himself again. Kakashi read his book with one hand and blocked with the other. Naruto's frustration rose. Why was he always behind? Why did everyone else seem to know rules he had never been taught? Why did the world always make him chase after things just out of reach? His hand shot toward the bells. For one impossible instant, the bells were in his palm. Naruto froze. Kakashi froze, then reality snapped. The bells were back on Kakashi's waist. Naruto stumbled as if someone had shoved him. "What the?" Kakashi's visible eye was no longer lazy. Sasuke's eyes widened from his hiding place. Sakura whispered, "Did he?" Kakashi kicked Naruto lightly backward, creating distance. Naruto, he said carefully, what did you just do? Naruto rubbed his wrist. I don't know, I grabbed them. No, you didn't. I did. You almost did. That's the same thing. It is very much not the same thing. Naruto scowled. You're just scared because I'm awesome. Kakashi did not answer. He had seen space-time ninjutsu before. His teacher had been the greatest space-time user in the world. This was not that. Space-time ninjutsu moved something from one point to another. Naruto had not moved the bells. For a fraction of a second, reality had accepted a different result. Naruto's hand had failed to reach the bells. Then the world had briefly behaved as if it had not. Kakashi moved faster after that. Naruto barely saw him. A sweep of the leg sent him tumbling. A flick of the wrist redirected a kunai. A palm to the chest knocked the air from his lungs. Naruto hit the ground hard. Something inside him flared: anger, embarrassment, desperation. The dirt beneath Kakashi's feet cracked into a spiral. Gravity doubled. Kakashi's body dipped. Sakura cried out from her hiding place as the same pressure slammed her toward the ground. Sasuke caught himself against a tree trunk, teeth clenched. Naruto gasped. The pressure vanished. Everyone inhaled at once. Kakashi stared at Naruto. Naruto stared back, terrified. I didn't mean to, he said. Kakashi slowly closed his book. For the first time all morning, he looked like a Jonin. I believe you. That somehow made Naruto feel worse. The test continued, but the mood had changed. Sasuke attacked alone and was buried up to his neck for it. Sakura was caught in a genjutsu and fainted after seeing Sasuke apparently injured. Naruto tried another direct attack, fell into a pit trap, and spent several minutes loudly arguing with the hole. By noon, none of them had bells. Kakashi tied Naruto to the post and placed lunches in front of Sasuke and Sakura. You two can eat, he said. Naruto cannot. He broke the rules by trying to eat earlier. Naruto's stomach made a sound like a dying animal. That was strategy. That was breakfast, a strategic breakfast. Kakashi ignored him. If either of you feeds him, you fail. Then he vanished. For a while, nobody moved. Naruto tried to look noble and tragic. It was difficult because his stomach kept betraying him. Sakura held her lunch, conflicted. Sasuke stared at his food, then at Naruto, then away. Naruto muttered, whatever, I'm used to being hungry. He had not meant to say it. The words came out too quiet. Sakura looked up. Sasuke's expression changed almost imperceptibly. The clearing became still, not frozen. Listening, Sasuke stood, walked over, and held out his lunch. Eat. Naruto blinked. What? You'll slow us down if you faint. Sakura immediately joined him, pushing some food toward Naruto. Yeah, we need all three of us if we're going to pass. Naruto stared at them. His throat tightened, then he grinned. You guys do care? Sasuke looked away. Don't make it weird. Sakura flushed. Just eat. Naruto took the food. The moment he did, something gentle moved through the clearing. A faint golden line connected the three of them for a heartbeat. Kakashi watched from the trees, his chest tightened. So that was how it worked, not only anger. Not only pain, bonds too. He appeared in a burst of smoke. You pass. Sakura shrieked. Naruto choked on rice. Sasuke reached for a kunai. Kakashi smiled with his eye. In the ninja world, those who break the rules are scum. His voice softened. But those who abandon their comrades are worse than scum. Naruto stopped chewing. Something about the words settled into him. A rule, not one forced by chakra, one chosen. Kakashi looked at Naruto longer than the others. And some rules, he added quietly, should never be broken carelessly. Naruto did not fully understand, but he remembered. After that, Team 7 began missions, real missions, important missions, life-changing missions. At least, that was what Naruto thought being a ninja would mean. Instead, they caught cats, pulled weeds, carried groceries, babysat children. One old woman asked them to repaint a fence. Naruto accidentally painted himself, Sakura, 3 chickens, and half of Sasuke's shoe. Kakashi called it team bonding. Sasuke called it a waste of oxygen. Naruto called it emotional damage. Days became weeks. And during those weeks, Kakashi trained them. Sasuke practiced fire techniques and shuriken jutsu until his hands blistered. Sakura worked on chakra control and quickly proved she had the best precision on the team. Naruto struggled with everything that required patience. But when Kakashi began teaching him control over his strange ability, Naruto listened. Mostly, they started small. A leaf sat on a stump between them. Kakashi crouched nearby. Change its direction. Naruto squinted. Direction. When the wind blows, make it move left instead of right. That's it. That's it, Naruto grinned. Easy. 3 hours later, the leaf had caught fire, turned blue, briefly smelled like ramen, and once screamed in Kakashi's voice. It had not moved left. Naruto lay on his back, exhausted. This leaf is stupid. Kakashi looked at the smoking blue leaf. The leaf is not the problem. The leaf is definitely part of the problem, Kakashi sighed. Naruto, your power responds to emotion. That means emotion gives it strength, but control requires understanding. Naruto frowned. I don't understand most things. I noticed. Hey. Kakashi picked up another leaf. You cannot simply say change and expect safe results. Reality is not clay, it is a structure. Every change touches something else. He dropped the leaf, wind carried it right. Again. Naruto sat up. This time he did not force it, he watched the leaf fall. He imagined the wind as a hand. He imagined the leaf as a tiny boat. He imagined asking, not shouting. Left, the leaf trembled. Then drifted slightly left before falling. Naruto's eyes widened. I did it. The leaf exploded into confetti. Kakashi stared. Naruto stared. From across the field, Sakura slowly lowered her book. Sasuke stopped mid-training. Naruto scratched his cheek. That was supposed to happen. No, Kakashi said. Naruto smiled nervously, but it looked cool. Kakashi rubbed his forehead. Training Naruto was going to age him by 20 years. Their first C-rank mission arrived because Naruto complained loudly enough to make bureaucracy surrender. The client was an old bridge builder named Tazuna. He smelled like alcohol and bad decisions. Naruto immediately disliked him. Tazuna disliked Naruto faster. This little shrimp is supposed to protect me, Naruto pointed at himself. Little shrimp, Tazuna snorted. I've seen scarier academy students. I am a ninja. You look like a traffic cone with legs. Sakura covered her mouth. Sasuke looked away, but Naruto saw his shoulder twitch, betrayal. Kakashi accepted the mission anyway. They left Konoha beneath a clear sky. At first, everything felt exciting. The road stretched ahead. Birds called from trees. Naruto walked with exaggerated confidence, imagining how amazing he must look to travelers. Then he saw a puddle. It had not rained for days. Kakashi noticed it too. He did not react. Naruto frowned at the puddle. Something about it felt wrong, not dangerous, exactly false, like Kakashi's black cat excuse. Naruto slowed. The puddle rippled. 2 shinobi burst from it, chains flashing. The demon brothers attacked Kakashi first. Their chain sliced through him. Sakura screamed. Naruto froze. Kakashi's body fell apart. For 1 second, Naruto's mind went white, dead. Kakashi-sensei was dead. No, the word rose inside him with terrifying force. No, the chain came for Tazuna next. Sasuke moved beautifully, intercepting the attack and pinning the chain with shuriken and kunai. Sakura placed herself in front of Tazuna despite her fear. Naruto stood still. The world around him trembled. The blood on the ground crawled backward. The torn pieces of Kakashi's body flickered. Then the substitution log revealed itself. Kakashi appeared behind the attackers and disabled them instantly. Naruto staggered, his chest hurt. Kakashi looked at him sharply. The grass around Naruto's sandals had become pale, as if color had been drained from it. Kakashi approached slowly. Naruto. Naruto's breathing shook. I thought you died. Kakashi's expression softened. I didn't. I thought you died, Naruto repeated. The words were smaller now. Kakashi placed a hand on his head. I'm here. Naruto looked down. I almost did something. Yes, Kakashi said. Naruto swallowed. What? Kakashi glanced at the colorless grass. I think you almost tried to make my death untrue. Naruto said nothing. Sakura's eyes widened. Sasuke stared at Naruto with a complicated expression. Tazuna finally confessed the truth. The mission was not a simple escort. The land of waves was controlled by a shipping magnate named Gato. The demon brothers had been sent to kill him. This was not a C-rank mission. It was at least B-rank, maybe higher. Kakashi gave them the choice to return. Naruto was still shaken, still embarrassed by his own fear, still angry that Tazuna had lied. But then he looked at the old man's hands. Rough hands, builder's hands, hands that wanted to make a bridge. A bridge meant people trapped on an island could reach the world again. Naruto understood that more than he wanted to admit. I'm not quitting, he said. Sakura took a breath. Me neither. Sasuke folded his arms. HN. Naruto glared. Use words, jerk. That was my word. That's not a word, it communicated enough. Kakashi watched them argue and made his decision. They continued. Mist greeted them in the land of waves. It rolled over the road like a living thing, thick and cold. The trees became shadows. The air tasted of salt and fear. Naruto stayed close to the others. He hated the mist, not because he was scared. He was absolutely not scared. He simply believed Mist was suspicious and should be judged. Then Kakashi stopped. Get down. A massive sword spun through the mist. Team 7 ducked. The blade buried itself in a tree. A man appeared on the handle, bandages covering his lower face, killing intent rolling off him like poison. Zabuza Mamachi, demon of the hidden mist. Naruto felt his knees weaken. This was not Mizuki. This was not a training test. This man had killed before, many times, and he felt like he would kill again without hesitation. The world around Zabuza seemed heavier, as if reality itself knew what he was. Kakashi lifted his forehead protector, revealing the Sharingan. Sasuke stiffened. Sakura's breath caught. Naruto felt the air change again, but differently this time. Kakashi's eye did not bend reality. It read movement, chakra, intention. Zabuza smiled beneath his bandages. The battle began. Kakashi and Zabuza moved faster than Naruto could follow. Steel clashed. Water exploded. Mist swallowed everything. Naruto tried to help, but every instinct screamed that he was out of his depth. Then Zabuza trapped Kakashi in a water prison. The world dropped out from under Team 7. Kakashi was caught. Zabuza created a water clone and turned toward the genin. Run, Kakashi ordered from inside the prison. Naruto shook. Run, the word tasted familiar. Everyone always expected him to run when things became real. Run from the villagers, run from Mizuki, run from the truth. Run from being weak. The water clone appeared in front of him and kicked him hard enough to send him skidding across the ground. Naruto's forehead protector flew off and landed near Zabuza's feet. The missing nin placed one foot on it. Something inside Naruto went silent. Not calm, silent. Zabuza looked down at him. Little ninja playing hero. Naruto pushed himself up, his lip bled. That's mine. Zabuza pressed harder. The metal plate bent slightly under his sandal. Naruto's vision narrowed. That's mine. The mist stopped moving. Sakura felt it first. The air thickened. Sasuke felt it next, a pressure crawling across his skin. Kakashi's Sharingan widened from inside the prison. Naruto stood. Golden red markings flickered across his fingers like half-written seals. The mist around Zabuza hardened, not into ice, into something stranger. The water droplets became tiny glass beads hanging in place, trapping light. Zabuza's water clone tried to move and found the mist resisting him like a net. Naruto raised one hand. This place, his voice shook, but he forced the words out. This place rejects cowards who step on other people's dreams. The ground flashed with a spiral seal. Zabuza's clone lunged. It slowed. Every step became harder. The killing intent pouring off, it thickened into black vapor, then wrapped around its own limbs like chains. Sasuke saw the opening. Naruto blinked. Sasuke was already moving in that instant. Teamwork happened without discussion. Sasuke threw a demon wind shuriken. Zabuza caught it. A second shuriken hid in its shadow. Zabuza dodged, then the second shuriken transformed. Naruto appeared, kunai in hand, slashing toward Zabuza's arm. The move was brilliant. But Zabuza was still Zabuza. He twisted, avoiding a serious wound. Naruto's kunai only grazed him. Still, it was enough. Zabuza's hand left the water prison. Kakashi broke free. The battle turned. Kakashi copied Zabuza's jutsu and overwhelmed him with the water dragon. Zabuza crashed into a tree, wounded and furious. Then needles struck his neck. A masked hunter nin appeared and declared Zabuza dead. Naruto stared. Something was wrong again. The hunter nin's words bent false, not completely. But enough, Naruto stepped forward. He's not dead. The masked figure turned slightly. Kakashi's eyes shifted toward Naruto. What? Naruto pointed. He's not dead. That person is lying. The hunter nin went still. The forest became very quiet. Kakashi looked at Zabuza's body, then at the masked figure. Before anyone could act, the hunter nin vanished with Zabuza. Naruto cursed and tried to chase, but his knees buckled. Kakashi caught him. Easy. Naruto gripped Kakashi's sleeve. They got away. Yes, I knew it. Yes. Then why didn't we stop them? Kakashi looked toward the mist. Because I need to understand what we're dealing with before I risk all of you. Naruto wanted to argue, but exhaustion swallowed him. The last thing he heard before fainting was Kakashi's voice. And Naruto, you did well. Naruto fell asleep with a tiny smile. Training began at Tezuna's house. Tree climbing, chakra control. Sasuke improved quickly. Sakura mastered it almost immediately. Naruto failed loudly. But something was different now. Every time Naruto's chakra slipped, the bark beneath his feet changed texture. Sometimes it became soft like rubber. Sometimes it grew tiny faces that complained. Once, the tree politely asked Naruto to stop. Sakura stared in horror. Sasuke looked personally offended by the universe. Kakashi simply wrote notes. Naruto hung upside down from a branch, glaring at him. Are you studying me? Yes, that's creepy. It's educational. For who? Mostly me. Naruto grumbled but kept training. Slowly, painfully, he improved. Kakashi gave him a new exercise. Make a rule, he said. Naruto frowned. Like what? Something small, something clear. Naruto thought hard. Then he placed a hand on the tree. Inside this bark is easier to grip. A tiny spiral appeared under his palm. He stepped onto the tree, his sandal held. Naruto's eyes widened. He climbed 3 steps, then 5, then 10. Then he slipped and fell on his head, but he jumped up cheering anyway. I did it. I made a rule. Kakashi nodded. A small one. Naruto grinned. A rule is a rule. Kakashi's voice became serious. And that is why you must be careful. Naruto's grin faded. Kakashi crouched in front of him. Listen to me carefully. From now on, you follow 3 laws. Naruto straightened instinctively. Law 1, never rewrite while angry. Naruto looked away. Law 2, never change a living person unless there is no other choice. Sakura's face paled slightly. Sasuke watched from nearby, silent. Law 3, Kakashi said, voice quieter. Never make reality carry pain that belongs to your heart. Naruto did not understand that one, not fully, but it scared him, so he nodded. The battle on the bridge came days later. Mist covered everything. Workers fled. Tazuna trembled but stood his ground. Zabuza returned. And with him came the masked boy, Haku. Sasuke faced him first. Naruto arrived late, crashing dramatically onto the bridge and immediately pretending he had planned it. Then Haku trapped them inside the demonic ice mirrors. Naruto had never seen anything like it. Mirrors surrounded them from every direction. Haku moved between them faster than sight. Needles struck from impossible angles. Sasuke fought brilliantly. Naruto fought desperately. Together, they still could not win. Needles tore into Naruto's arms. Sasuke's breathing grew ragged. The mirrors reflected them endlessly. Dozens of Sasukes, dozens of Narutos. Naruto's stomach twisted, reflections, possibilities. The old shrine flashed in his memory. Haku's voice drifted from the mirrors. When someone has something precious to protect, they can become truly strong. Naruto clenched his fists. Then why are you helping that guy? Because he is precious to me. Naruto did not have an answer. The attack came too fast. Haku aimed for Naruto. Sasuke moved. Needles struck. Sasuke fell. Naruto caught him before he hit the ground. For 1 second, Naruto did not understand what had happened. Then he saw the needles, the blood, Sasuke's half-closed eyes. Naruto's world narrowed to one impossible thought. Sasuke had protected him. Sasuke, the jerk, the genius, the last Uchiha, the boy with nails hammered into his future. He had moved without thinking for Naruto. No, Naruto whispered. The mirrors trembled. Haku froze outside the dome. Kakashi turned sharply. Naruto held Sasuke tighter. No, his voice cracked. I'm tired of that word meaning nothing. Red chakra surged, but beneath it came gold. The bridge shook. The mirrors cracked, but not from force. Their reflections changed. One showed Sasuke standing again. Another showed Naruto arriving faster. Another showed Haku missing. Another showed a world where the needles had never struck. Reality began choosing between them. Haku's eyes widened behind the mask. What are you doing? Naruto's tears fell onto Sasuke's face. He doesn't die here. The words burned into the air. A spiral seal spread across the floor of the mirror dome. The rule formed badly, too emotional, too large, too desperate. The world resisted. Naruto screamed. The needles in Sasuke's body shifted backward a fraction. Blood retreated slightly. Sasuke gasped. Then reality snapped back violently. Naruto cried out as pain tore through his own body. Thin wounds opened across his arms and chest, matching injuries that were not his. Haku understood. Naruto had not healed Sasuke for free. He had tried to make the injury untrue, and reality had demanded payment. Naruto lifted his head. His eyes were red now, but not mindless. He looked furious, heartbroken, terrified, human. The mirrors shattered, not all at once. One by one, as if each reflection had decided it no longer wanted to lie, Naruto stood, Sasuke still breathing behind him. Haku landed lightly on the broken ice for a moment, neither moved, then Naruto spoke. If protecting precious people makes someone strong, golden red chakra curled around him. Then I'm going to be stronger than anyone. Haku attacked. Naruto met him. The fight was not clean. Naruto was not suddenly more skilled. Haku still moved better, still thought faster, still had technique Naruto could barely understand, but Naruto's space was changing. Needles curved away when aimed with killing intent. Ice cracked when it tried to trap him. The air around Naruto carried one unstable rule: harm meant for my precious people loses its path. Haku saw the weakness immediately. Naruto could protect others better than himself. So Haku aimed at Naruto's blind spot. The needle should have pierced his throat. Instead, Sasuke's hand caught Naruto's sleeve and pulled him back. Sasuke was barely conscious. His voice was faint. Idiot. Naruto stared. Sasuke's mouth twitched. Don't just stand there. Naruto laughed once, broken and relieved. Then he turned back to Haku. The battle ended not with a killing blow, but with Naruto's fist stopping inches from Haku's mask. He could have hit him. He did not. The mask cracked anyway. Haku's face appeared behind it, calm and sad. Naruto's anger faltered. You're like me, Naruto whispered. Haku's eyes softened. Perhaps. Outside, Kakashi's hand pierced Zabuza's chest. No, not Zabuza. Haku moved first. He became the shield. Naruto screamed his name, but this time reality did not obey, not because Naruto lacked power, because Haku had chosen. That was the first lesson Naruto hated. Reality could bend. It could not honestly erase a willing choice. Haku died smiling. Naruto stood over him, shaking. Zabuza laughed at first, cold, cruel, false. Naruto heard the lie in it. His grief sharpened into words. You act like you don't care because caring hurts too much. Zabuza went still. Naruto stepped toward him. Haku loved you. The mist thickened. Naruto's chakra stirred. You don't get to throw that away and call it strength. For a moment, a reality domain formed around them, small, fragile. Imperfect. One rule. Lies cannot hide grief here. Zabuza's eyes changed. The demon of the mist broke. When Gato arrived with his men, laughing and mocking Haku's body, Zabuza rose, wounded, dying, but real. Naruto did not stop him. Some choices belonged to others. Zabuza cut through Gato's men and killed the man who had enslaved the land of waves. Then he fell beside Haku. The mist began to clear. Later, after graves were dug and tears were shed, Naruto stood alone on the unfinished bridge. The sea stretched beneath him. Broken wood lay scattered around the construction site. Tools had been abandoned. Blood had dried between the planks. A bridge was supposed to connect people. This place had almost become a grave. Naruto crouched and placed his palm on the wood. He thought of Tazuna, of Inari, of Haku, of Zabuza. Of Sasuke stepping in front of needles, of Iruka stepping in front of a shuriken. His chakra moved softly this time. Not a scream, not a demand, a promise. This place should connect people, Naruto whispered. Not bury them. A small spiral spread beneath his hand. The broken planks groaned. One beam shifted back into place. Then another, not the whole bridge. Naruto was too tired for that, but enough. Enough for the workers to see. Enough for hope to become easier. Behind him, Kakashi watched silently. Sasuke stood beside him, arms folded, bandages visible beneath his collar. Sakura wiped her eyes. Tazuna stared at the repaired section of bridge like he was seeing a miracle. Naruto swayed. Kakashi caught him before he fell. You really enjoy collapsing after doing impossible things, Kakashi said. Naruto smiled weakly. Part of my charm. Sasuke scoffed. Sakura laughed softly. For once, Naruto did not feel like the laugh was at him. When the bridge was finally completed, Tazuna named it the Great Naruto Bridge. Naruto cried, then denied crying, then cried harder when Inari hugged him. Team 7 returned to Konoha changed. Sakura had learned courage was not the absence of fear. Sasuke had learned Naruto was not merely dead last. Kakashi had learned his student's power was growing faster than anyone could safely predict, and Naruto had learned something he would carry forever. Reality could bend for him. But people were not things to be rewritten. Their choices mattered, even when those choices hurt. That night, after reporting to the Hokage, Kakashi remained in the office. Hiruzen listened quietly as Kakashi explained everything: the bells, the gravity, the mist, the mirrors, Sasuke's near death. Naruto's rule. Hiruzen's face seemed to age with every word. He tried to undo death, the Hokage asked. Not fully, Kakashi said, but close enough. And the cost? He took part of the injury onto himself. Hiruzen closed his eyes. The world demanded balance. Kakashi leaned against the wall. Can we train this safely? Hiruzen did not answer immediately. Outside, Konoha slept beneath moonlight. Finally, the Hokage spoke. We must. Kakashi looked at him. Hiruzen's voice became grave. Because if we do not teach Naruto where the limits are, pain will teach him instead. Far away, deep beneath old Uzumaki ruins swallowed by ocean mist, ancient seals flickered for the first time in decades. One by one, forgotten symbols awakened. A spiral opened in darkness, and something old whispered Naruto's name. Konoha changed after the land of waves, not loudly. Not in a way most people noticed. The market still opened at sunrise. Academy students still ran through the streets with wooden kunai. The Hokage monument still watched over the village, old stone faces carrying old stone secrets. But Naruto felt the change. Before Wave, people looked at him like a problem. After Wave, some looked at him like a question. That was almost worse. Whispers followed him more carefully now. The kind of whispers that stopped when he turned around. The kind adults used when they did not want children to know something dangerous was nearby. Naruto hated it. He had spent his whole life being called monster without knowing why. Now he had a different fear. Maybe this time, they had a reason. He sat on the training ground with a brush in one hand and a strip of paper in the other, glaring at both like they had personally insulted him. Kakashi stood nearby, reading his orange book. Sakura sat cross-legged with a stack of sealing notes beside her, studying with terrifying focus. Sasuke leaned against a tree, pretending not to watch. Naruto dipped the brush into ink. Slowly, carefully, he drew a spiral. The line immediately crawled off the paper and tried to escape. Naruto screamed, "Hey, get back here." The ink spiral slithered across the ground like a black worm. Sakura jumped back. Naruto, Sasuke's eyebrow twitched. Your seal is running away. I can see that. Kakashi looked over his book. Improvement. Naruto grabbed the crawling seal with both hands. The ink squirmed between his fingers. How is this improvement? Yesterday, your seal exploded. That was one time, 3 times. The third one was barely an explosion. Sakura sighed and pinched the bridge of her nose. Since returning from Wave, Kakashi had changed Naruto's training. No more only tree climbing. No more only leaf exercises. Now Naruto had to learn seals. Not advanced sealing. Not yet. Kakashi had been very clear that if Naruto tried advanced sealing without supervision, he could accidentally trap his own soul inside a rice ball. Naruto had laughed. Kakashi had not, so they started with simple rule tags. The theory was easy enough for Sakura to understand and impossible enough for Naruto to hate. A normal explosive tag stored chakra and released fire. A storage seal folded space around an object. A binding seal restricted movement, but Naruto's strange ability treated seals differently. For him, a seal was not only a container, it was a sentence, a command, a tiny law. If written properly and fed with chakra, Naruto could make a small area follow that law for a short time. The problem was that Naruto's handwriting was terrible, his chakra control was violent, and his imagination had no safety rails. So far, he had created a tag that made a rock lighter, a tag that made a kunai return to his hand, a tag that made Sakura's lunch taste like ramen by accident, a tag that briefly convinced Kakashi's book it was a frog, and now, apparently, a seal that did not want to be a seal anymore. Naruto finally slapped the crawling ink back onto the paper. The strip shook. He leaned close and growled, "Stay." The seal froze. Kakashi lowered his book slightly. Sakura blinked. Sasuke straightened. Naruto held his breath. The paper glowed faintly. The spiral settled into place for 3 seconds. Nothing exploded, screamed, melted, or transformed into ramen. Naruto's face lit up. I did it. The tag immediately burst into harmless confetti. Naruto stared at the falling paper pieces, then he slowly turned to Kakashi. Kakashi nodded. Progress. Naruto pointed at him. I hate your definition of progress. Kakashi's visible eye curved. That means training is working. Sakura picked up one of the confetti pieces. The tiny fragment still held a trace of chakra. This is actually fascinating, she said. The seal stabilized because Naruto gave it a direct verbal command. It's almost like his chakra responded better to intention than structure. Sasuke crossed his arms, so he yells at reality until it obeys. Naruto grinned. Exactly. Kakashi snapped his book shut. No, Naruto's grin died. Kakashi stepped closer. That is exactly what you must not do. The air grew serious. Naruto looked down. Kakashi crouched in front of him. Listen carefully. Reality weaving is not about forcing the world to obey you. That works when you are angry. It works when you are desperate, but it is unstable. Naruto's hands tightened around the brush. When you force a rule, the world pushes back. When you understand a rule, the world makes room for it. Naruto frowned. That sounds like old man stuff. It is old man stuff, Kakashi said. Unfortunately, old men are right sometimes. Naruto looked offended by this possibility. Kakashi placed a fresh tag in front of him. Again, this time do not command it, define it. Naruto stared at the paper. Define it, not yell, not demand, explain. He dipped the brush into ink again. His line was still messy. The spiral wobbled. The outer curve looked like a drunk snake. Sakura visibly suffered watching it, but Naruto focused. A small rule, something clear, something simple. He wrote the words beneath the spiral as Kakashi had taught him. Return to hand. Naruto placed a kunai on top of the tag and fed it chakra. The seal glowed. He threw the kunai at a nearby stump. It struck wood with a thunk. Naruto held out his hand. For a moment, nothing happened. Then the kunai shook. It pulled itself free, spun through the air, and flew back toward Naruto, handle first, almost. Naruto caught it. Then immediately screamed because the tag slapped onto his forehead. Sakura covered her mouth. Sasuke looked away. Kakashi nodded. Acceptable. Naruto peeled the tag off his face. I am a genius. You nearly stabbed yourself. But I didn't. That is a low standard. It's my standard. Kakashi sighed. This was how Naruto became stronger, not neatly, not gracefully, but relentlessly. Every failed seal became a joke. Every accidental disaster became a story. Every success, no matter how small, became proof that he could learn. And slowly, Naruto's power became less like a storm and more like a tool, not safe, never safe, but sharper, clearer, more his. Then Kakashi told them about the Chunin exams. Naruto reacted with exactly the amount of restraint everyone expected, which was none. Yes, finally, a real test. I'm gonna beat everyone. I'm gonna become Chunin, then Jonin, then Hokage by next Thursday. Sakura stared. That is not how promotion works. It will when I'm Hokage. You can't become Hokage before becoming Hokage. Not with that attitude. Sasuke smirked faintly. Naruto saw it and pointed. You laughed. No, you almost laughed. No, your face admitted it. My face did nothing. Kakashi watched them quietly. The Chunin exams were dangerous in any year. This year felt worse. Foreign shinobi would enter the village. Hidden agendas would move beneath official smiles. Ambition, pride, fear, and bloodline politics would all gather in one place, and Naruto would be in the middle of it, a boy whose emotions could give shape to the impossible. Kakashi almost told Hiruzen to pull him out, almost. But then he remembered Wave, Naruto standing over Haku, refusing to strike. Naruto learning that a person's choice could not simply be erased. Power had frightened Kakashi, restraint had impressed him, so he gave them the forms. And Team 7 entered the Chunin exams. The first warning came before the first test. Rock Lee challenged Sasuke. Naruto had never seen anyone move like Lee. No bloodline, no flashy jutsu, no smug Uchiha eyes, just speed, discipline, and hard work sharpened into a human weapon. Lee bowed politely, then kicked Sasuke hard enough to break his pride in 3 places. Naruto watched with wide eyes. Sasuke hit the floor, stunned. Sakura gasped. Naruto slowly pointed at Lee. I like this guy. Sasuke glared from the ground. Lee turned to Naruto with shining eyes. You are Naruto Uzumaki, yes. I have heard rumors that you possess unusual power. Naruto puffed up. Good rumors. Lee's smile did not change. Terrifying rumors. Naruto deflated. Before things could escalate, a giant turtle appeared, followed by Might Guy. Naruto decided immediately that if reality ever turned against him, it probably looked like Might Guy's smile. The written exam came next. Naruto sat at his desk, staring down at the paper. He understood nothing, absolutely nothing. The questions might as well have been written in ancient snake language. He looked left. Sasuke was already analyzing. He looked right. Sakura was writing calmly, because Sakura's brain was a weapon and everyone had simply agreed not to mention it. Naruto looked down again. Question 1 had numbers. Question 2 had diagrams. Question 3 had words he was not convinced were real. His soul began to leave his body. Then he noticed it, cheating. Everyone was cheating, subtly, skillfully. Like actual ninja, Naruto brightened, then immediately darkened again because he had no subtle skills. He considered creating a reality rule, something simple. Inside this room, answers reveal themselves. No, Kakashi's voice echoed in his mind, never rewrite while angry. Never change a living person unless there is no other choice. Never make reality carry pain that belongs to your heart. Naruto gripped his pencil. Was this important enough? No. Was he scared of failing? Yes. Was that a good reason to bend reality? He hated the answer. No. So Naruto did something much harder. He did not cheat. He sat there sweating, panicking, suffering, and refusing to let fear make the choice for him. When the final question came, Ibiki Morino explained the rule. Answer and risk permanent failure if wrong. Quit and preserve your chance for next year. One by one, teams began to leave. Naruto's hand shook. The room felt too small. Failure pressed around him, going back to the academy, losing his forehead protector, proving everyone right. His chakra stirred. The pencil on his desk bent slightly. Sakura saw it. Sasuke saw it too. Naruto shut his eyes. No. He slammed his hand on the desk. I'm not quitting. The room went silent. Naruto stood, eyes burning. I don't care if I stay a genin forever. I don't care if the whole world says I'm not ready. I'm still gonna become Hokage, so bring on your stupid question. For 1 second, the air in the room vibrated, not dangerously, not violently, like a bell had been struck. Several genin sat up straighter. Even those ready to quit found their hands lowering. Ibiki stared at Naruto. Then he smiled. Everyone remaining passed. Naruto did not understand the test, but he passed it anyway. Sasuke looked at him afterward. You really are insane. Naruto grinned. You're welcome. I didn't thank you. You did with your eyes. My eyes insulted you. Your eyes are shy. Before Sasuke could respond, the window shattered. Anko Mitarashi entered like a storm wearing a trench coat. Naruto immediately liked her energy. Then she explained the second test, the Forest of Death. Naruto liked her energy less. The forest gates towered before them like the mouth of a beast. Giant trees rose into misty darkness. Strange cries echoed from within. The air smelled damp, wild, and hungry. Anko smiled. Try not to die. Naruto raised his hand. Is that advice or a rule? Yes. That did not comfort him. Each team received a scroll. Team 7 entered the forest. At first, Naruto tried to act fearless. This lasted until a giant centipede crawled across a branch above him. He pointed at it. I'm not scared, but that bug has evil plans. Sakura whispered, focus. Sasuke held up a hand, silence. Something was wrong. The forest had gone quiet. Then the attack came. A massive snake burst from the trees, jaws wide enough to swallow a house. Team 7 scattered. Naruto hit the ground, rolled, and slapped a tag onto the dirt. Rule: mud rejects weight. The ground beneath the snake turned slick and springy. Its head slammed down and bounced sideways. Naruto grinned. It worked. Then the snake's tail hit him like a tree trunk and sent him flying. It worked badly. Sasuke dragged him out of the way. Sakura cut through vines to clear an escape path. They regrouped, breathing hard. Then a grass ninja appeared. Their face was wrong, not visually. Something deeper. Naruto felt the lie before he understood it. The person's skin fit badly over their presence, like a mask made of meat. Sasuke sensed the danger too. His hand tightened around a kunai. The grass ninja smiled. Naruto hated that smile. It made the world feel colder. Such interesting children, the stranger said. Naruto's stomach twisted. The words bent false. Everything about them was false. "Who are you?" Naruto demanded. The stranger's smile widened. Then killing intent fell over them. Naruto had felt anger before. He had felt hatred. He had felt Zabuza's murderous pressure in wave. This was worse. This killing intent was not a threat. It was a world where Team 7 had already died, and their bodies simply had not noticed yet. Sakura froze. Sasuke trembled. Naruto's breath stopped. The forest changed. Not because the stranger attacked, because Naruto's fear answered. The trees twisted, bark became walls, leaves darkened into the shape of watching eyes. The ground beneath Naruto's feet turned into wet streets, Konoha streets. His old apartment appeared between the trees. The academy swing creaked in the distance. Voices whispered from every direction, monster, demon. Thing, why is it still alive? Sakura gasped. Naruto. Sasuke looked around sharply. The forest of death was becoming something else, Naruto's nightmare. The grass ninja's golden eyes lit with fascination. Oh, Naruto clutched his head. No, no, stop. But the more afraid he became, the stronger the world shifted. A shop front appeared beside a tree, its windows filled with faceless villagers. Their mouths moved in unison, monster, monster, monster. Sakura stepped toward Naruto. A black root snapped around her ankle. She cried out. Sasuke cut it instantly. Naruto, he shouted. Naruto did not hear him. He was smaller now, not physically, but inside, back on the swing, back beneath every stair, back in the rain. The stranger watched with hunger. Reality responding to trauma, they whispered. Beautiful. Sasuke's fear sharpened into anger. He grabbed Naruto by the collar. Wake up. Naruto's eyes were unfocused. Sasuke raised his fist. Sakura shouted, Sasuke-kun, wait. Sasuke punched Naruto across the face. The nightmare flickered. Naruto blinked. Sasuke glared at him, shaking but furious. You're not alone in this forest, idiot. Naruto stared. Sakura limped forward, blood on her ankle, eyes bright with fear but voice steady. Those voices aren't us, she said. They're not Team 7. The whispers grew louder. Monster. Demon thing. Naruto's breathing hitched. Sakura grabbed his hand. You're Naruto. Sasuke looked away, jaw tight. You're annoying, he muttered. Loud, reckless, stupid. Naruto's eye twitched through his panic. Is this supposed to help? Sasuke looked back at him. But you're not that. The words struck deeper than comfort, because Sasuke did not say kind things easily. That made it real. Naruto looked at Sakura's hand on his, then at Sasuke standing between him and the nightmare. His chest hurt, but differently. The world trembled. Naruto closed his eyes. He imagined the forest. The real forest, not the village, not the voices, trees, mud, Team 7. A rule formed in his mind, small, clear, chosen. This place, his voice shook. This place remembers what it really is. The spiral beneath his feet spread outward. The false village cracked. The faceless villagers shattered into leaves. The swing became a branch. The wet street became mud. The whispers died. The forest of death returned. Naruto fell to one knee, gasping. The grass ninja began to laugh, slowly, softly, delighted, wonderful. Sasuke stepped in front of Naruto. Stay away from him. The stranger's neck stretched inhumanly. Sakura recoiled. Naruto looked up. The face split. The mask melted away. Orochimaru revealed himself. Even Sasuke went pale. Naruto did not know the name yet, but he knew the feeling. This was not just an enemy. This was hunger wearing human skin. Orochimaru moved. Sasuke fought for a few moments. He fought brilliantly. Fire bloomed through the trees. Shuriken curved and crossed. His Sharingan awakened under pressure, red eyes tracking death itself, but Orochimaru was beyond them. He slipped through attacks like they amused him. Naruto tried to form another rule tag. His hands shook too badly. Orochimaru noticed. A snake shot toward him. Naruto slapped the tag onto its head. Rule, fangs forget poison. The snake bit his arm. Pain exploded, but no venom came. Naruto laughed breathlessly. Ha, take that, creepy snake guy. Orochimaru's eyes gleamed. Instinctive conceptual denial. Remarkable. Naruto did not understand the words, but he understood the tone. He hated being studied. Sasuke launched another attack. Orochimaru appeared behind him. Naruto saw it. Sasuke, too late. Orochimaru's neck extended. His fangs sank into Sasuke's neck. Sasuke screamed. Something burned black across his skin. Naruto's vision went red-gold. No, he moved without thinking. But this time his fear had a shape, not a nightmare. A seal. He slammed his palm onto Sasuke's shoulder. Spirals erupted beneath his fingers, wrapping around the fresh curse mark like chains of light. Orochimaru's eyes widened. Naruto snarled, "You don't get to write on him." The curse mark pulsed. Orochimaru's chakra pushed back, oily and ancient. Naruto's seal shook. It could not erase the mark. He did not understand it enough. He did not have the skill. But he understood one thing: Sasuke belonged to himself. So Naruto wrote that into the seal. The golden spiral tightened around the black mark, not removal, resistance. Orochimaru actually looked surprised, then pleased. "So that is your answer," he whispered. "You cannot destroy my curse, so you give the boy a choice." Naruto's teeth clenched. "Shut up." Orochimaru laughed, then he vanished, leaving behind fear, pain, and the promise of future disaster. Sasuke collapsed. Sakura caught him. Naruto dropped beside them, shaking. The counterseal on Sasuke's neck glowed once, then sank beneath the curse mark. Sakura looked at Naruto. "What did you do?" Naruto swallowed. "I don't know." Sasuke's unconscious face tightened. The curse mark pulsed. Then the golden spiral pulsed back. Naruto exhaled. "But I think it can't fully control him now." Sakura looked at Sasuke, then at Naruto. Her eyes softened. "Thank you." Naruto looked away. "Yeah, well, he still owes me lunch from the Bell test." Sakura laughed once, broken and relieved. But Naruto did not smile, because deep inside, he had felt Orochimaru's chakra push against his own. And for the first time, someone had not only resisted Naruto's reality, they had enjoyed doing it. The rest of the forest of death became survival. Sakura guarded them while Sasuke burned with fever and Naruto recovered from chakra exhaustion. Enemy teams came. Sakura fought harder than Naruto had ever seen. She cut her hair to escape a grip, stood between enemies and her teammates, and refused to fall even when outmatched. When Naruto woke and saw blood on her face, something inside him went cold, but Sakura shook her head before he could move. "I chose this," she said. Naruto froze. The lesson from Haku returned. People were not things to be rewritten. Their choices mattered, even when those choices hurt. So Naruto did not erase her injuries. He placed a shaking tag on the ground instead. Rule: wounds do not worsen inside this circle. The seal glowed. Sakura's bleeding slowed, not healed, not undone, protected. Sakura smiled faintly. "That's better." Naruto looked down. "Yeah." Sasuke woke later. Changed, darker. The curse mark crawled over his skin during a fight, feeding his anger, making his chakra cruel. Naruto's counterseal activated. A golden spiral burned around the black marks. Sasuke froze, teeth clenched, caught between Orochimaru's hunger and his own choice. Naruto stepped in front of him. "You're not his." Sasuke's eyes shook. Naruto held out a fist. "You're Team 7. For a second, Sasuke looked like he might reject it. Then the curse mark receded, not because Naruto forced it, because Sasuke chose to pull back. The golden seal faded. Sasuke looked away. "Don't say cheesy things." Naruto grinned weakly. "You love my cheesy things. I hate everything about that sentence." Team 7 passed the second exam, barely. When they reached the tower, Naruto expected praise. Instead, he received medical checks, suspicious looks, and many adults whispering again. Always whispering. The preliminary matches began because too many teams had passed. Naruto stood in the arena, bandaged and exhausted, but still grinning. One by one, names appeared. Sasuke fought first. The curse mark made the match dangerous, but Naruto's counterseal helped suppress it. Sasuke won with brutal efficiency, copying Lee's movements in a rough but effective way. Naruto cheered loudly. Sasuke pretended not to hear. Then Sakura fought Ino. Naruto screamed support until Kakashi made him stop because he was emotionally damaging everyone within range. Sakura and Ino knocked each other out. Naruto declared it a double victory. Then his name appeared. Naruto Uzumaki vs. Kiba in Uzuka. Kiba laughed from across the arena, Akamaru on his head. "Well, this'll be quick," Naruto pointed at him. "You better not cry when I win," Kiba grinned. "Win? You, the dead last." The old insult hit differently now. Once it had been true, now it was lazy. Naruto rolled his shoulders. "I'm not the same guy from the academy." Kiba crouched low, "Still smells like an idiot." Akamaru barked. Naruto looked personally betrayed. "Your dog is rude." The match began. Kiba was fast, very fast. He and Akamaru attacked together, spinning, striking, vanishing in clouds of smoke. Naruto made clones, but Kiba tore through them with practiced aggression. Naruto hit the ground again and again. The crowd laughed. Kiba smirked. Come on, Naruto. Where's that scary power everyone's whispering about? Naruto froze. There it was, the whisper, the question. The monster of possibility. His chakra stirred. The arena floor trembled. Kakashi's eyes sharpened. Hiruzen leaned forward. Orochimaru, disguised among the spectators, smiled. Naruto inhaled. Then he exhaled. No, he would not use fear. He would not use anger. He reached into his pouch and pulled out a messy seal tag. Kiba snorted. What's that supposed to do? Naruto slapped the tag onto the ground. A rule. The spiral spread beneath them, forming a circle about 10 meters wide. Kiba's grin faltered. Naruto lifted his head. Inside this circle. He paused. What rule? Not too strong, not unfair, something Kiba could fight against, something Naruto understood. Kiba attacked again, full of confidence, full of arrogance, certain Naruto could not keep up. Naruto smiled. Inside this circle, attacks made with arrogance lose direction. Kiba's fist swung toward Naruto's face. It missed completely. Kiba stumbled. What? He attacked again, missed. Akamaru lunged, also missed, tumbling into Kiba's legs. The crowd went silent, then someone laughed. Kiba's face went red. What did you do? Naruto grinned. Made your big mouth a combat weakness. Kiba growled, his anger rose, he attacked harder, missed harder. Naruto did not overpower him, he made Kiba fight himself. The rule was not absolute. When Kiba focused, when he calmed down, his attacks became accurate again. Naruto noticed immediately. That was the weakness, good. A rule with a weakness was safer than a rule without one. Kiba adapted, using Akamaru, scent, and feints. Naruto took hits, real ones, painful ones, but he kept moving, he used clones, he used tricks. He used one returning kunai tag to hit Kiba from behind and looked way too proud of it. Finally, Naruto tricked Kiba into charging directly at a clone holding a false tag. Kiba hesitated, expecting another rule. That hesitation was enough. Naruto came from below with an uppercut. Kiba hit the ground. Akamaru barked in alarm. The referee called it. Winner, Naruto Uzumaki. For a moment, Naruto simply stood there. Then he threw both fists into the air. Yeah, who's dead last now? The crowd reacted in pieces. Some cheered, some whispered, some looked afraid. Naruto heard all of it. But this time, he also heard Sakura cheering his name. He heard Kakashi's quiet approval. He saw Sasuke smirk, small, barely there, but real. Naruto grinned. That was enough. Later, after the preliminaries ended, Naruto sat alone outside the arena. The sky was turning orange. His body hurt everywhere. His chakra felt like someone had wrung it out like a wet towel. But he had won, not by accident, not by losing control. He had made a rule and used it properly. For the first time, his power felt like his. A shadow fell over him. Naruto looked up. A tall man with wild white hair stood nearby, wearing a forehead protector with the kanji for oil. Naruto stared. The man struck a dramatic pose. Behold, the great toad sage, master of Mount Myaboku, legendary shinobi, wandering super genius Jiraiya, Naruto pointed. Old pervert. Jiraiya's pose collapsed. What kind of greeting is that? The accurate kind. Jiraiya looked deeply wounded. Naruto stood. Are you here to bother me, or is this a mission thing? Jiraiya's expression changed. The foolishness did not fully vanish, but something sharper appeared beneath it. I came to see the kid who made a rule in the middle of a Chunin match. Naruto stiffened. Jiraiya crouched slightly, studying him. You've got Kushina's blood, he said quietly, and Minato's stubbornness. Naruto's breath caught. You knew my parents. Jiraiya's face softened. Yeah, kid, I did. Naruto wanted to ask everything at once, their names, their faces, why nobody told him, why he had been alone. But before he could speak, Jiraiya's eyes moved to Naruto's hands. Faint golden seal lines still flickered around his fingers. Jiraiya's voice lowered. And you've got something older than both of them. Naruto swallowed. Do you know what it is? Jiraiya looked toward the village. For years, I thought the Uzumaki clan were only sealing masters. Chains, barriers, Jinchuriki arts, storage scrolls. He looked back at Naruto. But there were stories. Old ones. About Uzumaki so skilled, they stopped writing seals on paper and started writing them on the world. Naruto's skin prickled. Jiraiya's face became serious. If those stories are true, then you are carrying a power most nations would kill to own and destroy. Naruto forced a grin. Good thing I'm awesome, then. Jiraiya did not smile. Naruto. The use of his name without teasing made Naruto go quiet. Jiraiya placed a hand on his shoulder. Kid, if you keep bending the world every time it hurts you, one day the world will bend back. The words settled heavily between them. Naruto looked down at his hands. For a moment, he remembered the forest becoming his nightmare. He remembered Sasuke screaming under Orochimaru's curse. He remembered Haku choosing death and reality refusing to undo it. What do I do? Naruto asked. Jiraiya grinned then, but not mockingly. You train. Naruto looked up. With you, obviously. Who else could handle teaching a chaotic brat with reality-breaking Uzumaki nonsense? Naruto narrowed his eyes. I feel like that was an insult. It was several, old pervert, menaced child. They glared at each other. Then Naruto grinned. Jiraiya grinned back. Above them, unseen by both, a tiny crack of light appeared in the evening sky, spiral-shaped. It lasted only a second, then vanished. But far away, deep in a place where old chakra slept and ancient memories waited, something opened one eye. Naruto Uzumaki had made rules. Small ones, childish ones, imperfect ones, but the world had obeyed. And that meant the age of impossible things was beginning again. Jiraiya's training began with a rock, not a mountain, not a waterfall, not a giant toad, a rock. A small, boring, ugly gray rock sitting in the middle of a dirt clearing. Naruto stared at it, then he stared at Jiraiya, then back at the rock. This is a joke. Jiraiya sat on a tree stump, arms folded, looking far too pleased with himself. Nope. Naruto pointed at the rock like it had offended his bloodline. I fought a demon swordsman, survived Orochimaru past the forest of death, beat Kiba, and now you want me to fight a pebble. I want you to change its weight. That's even worse, Jiraiya sighed. Naruto, you don't need bigger power right now. You need better control. Naruto folded his arms. I have control. The rock immediately turned bright orange. Jiraiya stared. Naruto stared. A bird landed nearby, looked at the orange rock, and flew away as if disappointed in both of them. Jiraiya raised an eyebrow. Naruto coughed. That was artistic control. That was nonsense. Orange is a heroic color. It is a warning color. Exactly. Heroic warning. Jiraiya rubbed his forehead. Training Naruto Uzumaki, he decided, was going to require patience, wisdom, and possibly alcohol. Lots of alcohol. The clearing sat far from Konoha, hidden between thick trees and old stone markers covered in moss. Jiraiya had chosen the place carefully. No villagers, no curious genin, no clan spies, and most importantly, no breakable buildings. After seeing one of Naruto's practice seals briefly convince a training post that it was a chicken, Jiraiya no longer trusted normal training grounds. He pointed at the rock again. Make it lighter. Naruto crouched. How light? Light enough to float for 1 second. Naruto grinned. Easy. Jiraiya immediately regretted saying anything. Naruto slammed his palm onto the ground. Rule. This rock rejects being heavy. The clearing exploded. Dirt flew. Leaves shot upward. The rock launched into the sky so fast it vanished with a tiny sparkle. Naruto looked up. Jiraiya looked up. Several seconds passed. Then the rock came down like judgment. Jiraiya grabbed Naruto by the collar and jumped back as the rock buried itself deep into the earth with a violent thud. Naruto dangled from Jiraiya's grip. Technically, it floated. Jiraiya dropped him. You almost created a murder pebble. A powerful murder pebble, Naruto. Fine, fine. Jiraiya crouched and drew a circle in the dirt. Listen, reality weaving is not about shouting your desire at the world. You are not ordering reality around. Naruto sat cross-legged, pouting. Feels like I should be. That's how tyrants think. Naruto's pout vanished. Jiraiya noticed and continued. When you make a rule, you're borrowing authority from the world itself. The bigger the rule, the more the world demands a reason. Chakra is payment. Understanding is permission. Emotion is fuel. Naruto frowned, trying to follow. So if I have enough chakra and enough feelings, I can do anything? No, Jiraiya's answer was immediate. Naruto blinked. No, no, Jiraiya repeated. That thinking will get people killed. The clearing went quiet. Jiraiya picked up another rock and placed it in front of Naruto. You have a lot of chakra, more than most shinobi can imagine, and you have emotions strong enough to shake mountains, but understanding is where you're weak. Naruto looked offended. Hey, you don't understand gravity. You don't understand anatomy. You don't understand death. You barely understand math. I understand ramen prices. That is not the foundation of reality. It is the foundation of happiness. Jiraiya almost smiled, almost, then his voice hardened. When you tried to save Sasuke in Wave, you didn't heal him. You tried to make his injury false. Because you didn't understand the wound, reality took the cost from you. Naruto's hand unconsciously touched his chest, where faint scars still remained. Jiraiya watched him carefully. If you had pushed harder, maybe Sasuke would have stood up perfectly fine. Naruto looked at him. Jiraiya's eyes were serious. But maybe Sakura would have taken the injury instead. Maybe Kakashi. Maybe every mirror in that dome would have shattered into your organs. Maybe reality would have taken 10 years off your life. Naruto went still. I didn't know. That's the problem. Jiraiya placed the rock in Naruto's palm, so we start small. Weight, direction, heat, motion, truth, one concept at a time. Naruto looked down at the rock. It felt heavier now. Not physically, responsibly. He closed his fingers around it. Okay, he said quietly. Again. And for once, he meant it without complaint. Training became torture, not the fun kind of torture where Naruto got to complain loudly and then secretly enjoy proving people wrong. Actual torture. Jiraiya made him spend 2 hours changing the weight of one stone by tiny amounts, then the direction of falling water, then the temperature of a cup of tea, then the sharpness of a kunai. Naruto discovered very quickly that changing sharp was dangerous. The first time, the kunai became so sharp it cut through the table. The second time, it became dull like rubber. The third time, it developed emotional sensitivity and refused to be used as a weapon. Jiraiya stared at the kunai. Naruto stared at the kunai. The kunai somehow looked offended. Jiraiya slowly said, "We are taking a break from sharpness." Naruto nodded. Good idea. But slowly, painfully, Naruto improved. He learned that a good rule had to be clear, too vague, and reality guessed. Reality was very bad at guessing. Make me faster. Could increase leg speed, or heart rate, or the speed at which Naruto aged. Make this enemy weaker, could weaken their body, their will, their eyesight, or the floor beneath them. But inside this circle, incoming fire loses heat was safe, mostly. Inside this circle, lies leave a shadow. Was useful. Inside this circle, poison cannot spread was stable. Inside this circle, wounds do not worsen became one of Naruto's favorites. Jiraiya called these limited spaces reality domains. Naruto called them boss zones. Jiraiya refused to call them that. Naruto called them that anyway. The first proper reality domain formed on the 6th day. Naruto stood inside a chalk circle drawn in dirt, sweat running down his face. Around him lay 3 candles. Jiraiya stood outside the circle with a hand seal ready. The rule, Naruto breathed in. Inside this circle, fire cannot burn. Jiraiya nodded. Not fire disappears, not fire becomes harmless everywhere. Just inside the circle, fire cannot burn. I know. Say it clearly. Naruto glared, then he focused. The spiral mark on his palm glowed faintly. Chakra moved through the circle, slow and heavy, like ink spreading through water. Inside this circle, Naruto said, voice steady, fire cannot burn. The candles flickered. Their flames remained, but the heat vanished. Jiraiya reached into the circle and held his fingers above one candle. No burn. No pain, only light. Naruto's eyes widened. I did it. Jiraiya smiled. You did it. Naruto stared at the flames. For once, he did not shout. He simply watched the impossible obey him gently, not because he screamed, not because he hurt, because he understood the rule. Then the candles turned into tiny bowls of ramen. Jiraiya closed his eyes. Naruto scratched his cheek. I got excited. We were so close to dignity. Dignity is overrated. Still, Jiraiya laughed. After that, the training deepened. Naruto learned to anchor rules to objects. A stone, a kunai. A strip of cloth, his forehead protector. The stronger the emotional meaning of the anchor, the stronger the rule, but also the more dangerous. Jiraiya warned him never to anchor a reality domain to hatred. Hatred made powerful rules, fast rules, cruel rules. Rules that did not stop when Naruto wanted them to. Naruto remembered Gaara from the exam hall. The red-haired boy with dead eyes. The one whose chakra felt like sand grinding against bone. He wondered what kind of rules hatred had written inside him. On the final day before the Chunin exam finals, Jiraiya took Naruto to a cliff overlooking Konoha. The village spread below them in golden evening light. Naruto sat on the edge, legs swinging. Jiraiya stood behind him. You ready for Neji? Naruto scowled. Yeah, You don't sound ready. I'm ready to punch him. That is not the same thing. It usually works. Neji believes fate is absolute, Jiraiya said. That people are born into cages and spend their lives pretending the bars aren't there. Naruto's fingers tightened. That's stupid. Is it? Naruto looked back sharply. Jiraiya's face was serious. You were born with the nine tails sealed inside you, born into hatred you didn't choose, born carrying a power nobody understands. Neji was born into a branch family that marked him as lesser. Sasuke was born into a clan that became a graveyard. Naruto looked away. Jiraiya sat beside him. Fate is not always imaginary, kid. Sometimes people really are born inside cages. Naruto's voice lowered. Then I'll break the cage. Jiraiya nodded. That's your answer, but be careful. If you rewrite Neji's fate for him, you prove him right. Naruto frowned. What? If you use your power to force him free, then his life is still being decided by someone stronger. Naruto went quiet below. The village lights began to glow one by one. Jiraiya looked at him. You can't give people freedom by taking away their choice. Naruto thought of Haku, of Zabuza, of Sasuke resisting the curse mark, of Sakura choosing to stand and bleed. What do I do then? Jiraiya smiled faintly. You show him the door. The stadium roared on the day of the finals. Crowds filled every seat. Nobles, merchants, shinobi, civilians, and foreign guests gathered under bright banners. The Hokage sat in the viewing box beside the Kazekage, whose face remained hidden beneath cloth and shadow. Naruto stood in the arena below, rolling his shoulders. Neji Hyuga stood across from him, calm and cold. Naruto hated how calm he looked. It made him want to mess up his hair. The referee raised his hand. First match, Naruto Uzumaki versus Neji Hyuga. Neji activated his Byakugan, veins bulged around pale eyes. Naruto felt the gaze pass through him, sharp and invasive. Neji's expression barely changed, but his voice carried disdain. You should surrender, Naruto grinned. Nice opening joke. This match is already decided. There it is, the fate speech. Neji's eyes narrowed. You mock what you do not understand. Naruto's grin faded. No, I understand enough. Neji stepped into stance. You are loud because you fear being meaningless. You chase acknowledgement because your existence depends on others seeing you. That is your cage. The words hit harder than Naruto expected. The crowd noise faded. Neji continued. People do not change. They reveal what they were born to be. A failure remains a failure. A genius remains a genius. A caged bird remains caged. Naruto's hands shook. Old anger rose. The kind that wanted to shout no so loudly the world cracked. His chakra stirred. The dust around his feet formed a faint spiral. Kakashi leaned forward in the stands. Jiraiya's eyes sharpened. Naruto noticed. He inhaled, then exhaled. No, not anger, not this time. The match began. Neji moved like water given bones, fast, precise, merciless. Naruto sent clones forward. Neji destroyed them with frightening ease. Gentle fist strikes burst them apart before they could land blows. Naruto tried a returning kunai tag. Neji saw the chakra flow and stepped aside before it activated. Naruto tried to use a small rule around his feet to improve traction. Neji struck the ground with chakra and broke the seal before it stabilized. The crowd murmured. Naruto grimaced. Neji was not Kiba. He was not arrogant in a sloppy way. He was controlled, focused. His certainty made him dangerous. Neji struck Naruto's shoulder. Pain flashed through his chakra network. Naruto stumbled. Another strike hit his ribs, then his arm. Then his thigh. His chakra points began closing. Naruto fell to one knee. Neji stood over him. It is over, Naruto coughed. Funny, I'm still awake. For now. Neji raised his hand. Naruto looked up at him, not at the Byakugan, at the person behind it. You really believe it, don't you? Neji paused. That fate can't change. It cannot. Naruto slowly stood, body screaming. Then why are you angry? Neji's expression hardened. Naruto wiped blood from his mouth. If fate is so perfect, why do you hate it so much? The words struck. Neji moved. This time his calm cracked. He unleashed the 8 trigrams, 64 palms. Naruto barely saw the strikes. 2 palms, 4, 8, 16, 32, 64. Pain consumed him. His chakra shut down. He hit the ground hard. The stadium erupted. The referee stepped closer. Neji turned away. It is finished. Deep inside Naruto, behind the cage, Kurama opened one eye, so the fox growled. You finally need me, Naruto lay in darkness, his body hurt. His chakra was blocked above him. Somewhere far away, people were already deciding he had lost again. Failure, dead last, monster, thing. Naruto's fingers twitched. No. He did not want to win because Kurama carried him. He did not want to win because reality got angry on his behalf. He wanted to stand because he chose to, but choice needed strength, and strength had many sources. Naruto opened his inner eyes and faced the massive fox behind the bars. Kurama's red gaze burned down at him. Come to beg, Naruto looked up. No, the fox's eye narrowed. I came to make a deal. Kurama laughed, a deep sound that shook the sewer-like mindscape. A deal. With me, lend me chakra, Naruto said. Not control, not rage, chakra. And why would I do that? Naruto grinned despite the pain. Because you hate cages too. Kurama went silent. For the first time, the fox did not immediately mock him. Naruto placed a hand against the bars. I'm not opening this. I'm not letting you take over, but I know what it feels like when everyone decides what you are before you even speak. Kurama's lips pulled back. Careful, brat. Naruto held his ground. I'm going to beat Neji. Not because fate says I can, not because you do, because I'm choosing to stand up. The silence stretched. Then red chakra seeped through the bars, not violent, not flooding, given, alone, Kurama growled. Waste it and I'll laugh, Naruto smiled. Thanks, I hate you. Yeah. In the arena, Naruto rose, red chakra flickered around him. The crowd gasped. Neji turned back, eyes widening slightly. Naruto stood unsteadily, but his grin had returned. Round 2, Neji attacked again. This time, Naruto moved differently, not faster than Neji. Not better trained, but unpredictable. He used Kurama's chakra to force his blocked chakra points open. Pain tore through him, but he kept going. Clones filled the arena. Neji spun into rotation, destroying them. Naruto waited, watched, learned. Then he pulled out one seal tag, messy, uneven. Handwritten, Neji saw it instantly. I will not allow your tricks, he charged. Naruto slapped the tag onto the ground between them. Neji struck it with chakra before the rule could fully form. The tag burned. Naruto smiled. Who said that was the rule? From beneath the dirt, a second tag glowed. Then a third, then a fourth. Clones had hidden them during the chaos. A spiral circle spread across the arena. Neji stopped. The air changed. Naruto stood at the center, breathing hard. His voice carried across the stadium. Inside this circle, the world listened. Naruto looked at Neji. He remembered Jiraiya's warning. Do not rewrite his fate, show him the door. Naruto's eyes sharpened. Inside this circle, no one's path is already written. The reality domain bloomed. Neji's Byakugan flared. Then he screamed, not from pain, from vision. The arena vanished from his sight. Instead, Neji saw paths, thousands, millions, branching lines of possibility exploding outward from every person in the stadium. He saw himself killing Naruto. He saw Naruto defeating him. He saw himself remaining bitter. He saw himself laughing beside Hinata. He saw himself dying for the main house. He saw himself refusing. He saw his father alive. He saw his father dead. He saw choices, so many choices, too many choices. Neji staggered, clutching his head. What is this? Naruto nearly collapsed from the strain. Not fate, he said. Possibility. Neji's eyes shook. No, fate is. Fate is real, Naruto said, surprising even himself. Cages are real, pain is real. What people do to you is real. He stepped forward. But that doesn't mean your next step belongs to them. Neji trembled. The domain flickered. It was too much. Too big a concept, too close to changing a person. Naruto felt the backlash crawling up his spine. He had seconds. Neji forced himself through the vision and attacked. Naruto moved too. A clone burst from underground. The real Naruto came from below. His fist slammed into Neji's chin. The domain shattered. Neji hit the ground, silence. Then the referee raised his hand. Winner, Naruto Uzumaki. For a moment, Naruto did not move. Then his knees buckled. He caught himself with one hand. The crowd erupted, but Naruto did not care about the crowd. He looked at Neji. Neji lay on his back, staring at the sky. For the first time, his face did not look certain, it looked lost. Naruto walked over slowly and held out a hand. Neji stared at it. Then, after a long moment, he took it. The crowd cheered louder in the stands. Hayashi Hyuga watched with unreadable eyes. Hiruzen exhaled slowly. Jiraiya smiled. Kakashi closed his book without reading a word. Naruto had not broken Neji, he had cracked the cage, and Neji had looked outside. The next matches came and went. Naruto barely remembered them, his body hurt. His chakra felt torn. Every time he blinked, he saw branching futures, some beautiful, some terrible, some already vanishing. Sasuke arrived late for his match with Gaara. The stadium shifted with excitement. Naruto watched from the stands, bandaged and tense. Sasuke looked stronger, faster, sharper. Kakashi had clearly trained him hard. His Chidori screamed like 1,000 birds when he used it, piercing Gaara's sand defense and drawing blood. The stadium went silent. Gaara stared at his own blood. Then something inside him broke. Naruto felt it before anyone else. Hatred, loneliness. A rule written in sand and blood. Gaara's chakra did not bend reality like Naruto's did, but his pain had shaped his entire existence until the world around him obeyed one command. Only I matter. Naruto's stomach twisted. The invasion began. Genjutsu fell over the stadium. Feathers drifted from the sky. Explosions erupted beyond the walls. Sound and sand shinobi attacked. The Kazekage revealed himself as Orochimaru. Chaos swallowed Konoha. Naruto shook off the Genjutsu with Kurama's help and reality sharpened instinct. Sakura resisted with her natural chakra control. Shikamaru, nearby, pretended to be asleep until Sakura kicked him. Troublesome, he muttered. Kakashi gave orders quickly. Sasuke had already chased after Gaara. Naruto's blood ran cold. He knew where he needed to go. Come on, he shouted. Sakura followed. Shikamaru complained but came anyway. Pakken led them through the trees after Sasuke and the Sand siblings. The forest blurred around Naruto. Branches whipped past. Explosions echoed from the village behind them. Every instinct screamed at him to turn back and protect Konoha. But Sasuke was ahead. Gaara was ahead. And Naruto knew, deep in his bones, that Gaara was not just an enemy. He was a warning. They found Sasuke broken against a tree, curse mark suppressed but body exhausted. Gaara stood nearby, half-transformed, sand twisting around him like a living nightmare, his eyes locked onto Naruto. You. Gaara whispered. Naruto stepped forward. Sakura moved to help Sasuke, but sand snapped out and trapped her against a tree. Naruto froze. Gaara tilted his head. You are like me. Naruto's fists clenched. No. Gaara's smile widened. Yes, hated, feared, made into a container for a monster. Born as proof that love is a lie. Naruto's breath caught. Gaara stepped closer, sand crawling like insects. I kill, therefore I exist. That is my rule. The words struck the world, not reality weaving, but something close enough to hurt. Gaara had carved that belief so deeply into himself that his chakra obeyed it. Naruto felt sick, because he understood. He hated that he understood. Gaara raised a hand. Sand tightened around Sakura. She gasped in pain. Naruto's chakra erupted. Let her go, he charged. Gaara's sand slammed into him, throwing him through trees. Naruto rose again and again and again. Every blow hurt. Every defense failed. Gaara's sand was automatic, relentless, born from years of fear and isolation. Naruto's rules were unstable because his emotions were too loud. He tried a domain. Inside this circle, sand loses. Gaara crushed the ground before the rule formed. Naruto spat blood. Gaara laughed. You cannot change me. Naruto pushed himself up. I'm not trying to change you. Gaara's smile twitched. Naruto wiped his mouth. I'm trying to stop you. He summoned clones, dozens, then hundreds. The forest filled with orange. Gaara slaughtered them with sand. Naruto used the chaos to place tags, one on a tree, one under a root, one on a broken kunai. Gaara noticed too late. A circle formed around them, small, imperfect, but stable. Gaara's sand rose. Naruto slammed both hands together. Inside this circle, his voice trembled. He thought of his empty apartment, his old swing, the shrine, the villagers, Iruka's arms around him, Team 7 feeding him, Sasuke taking needles, Sakura grabbing his hand in the nightmare forest. He looked at Gaara. Loneliness cannot lie here. The domain activated, the forest vanished. Naruto and Gaara stood in a dark space filled with sand and rain. Not a genjutsu, not a memory. A shared truth. Gaara saw Naruto's childhood, the empty rooms, the hateful eyes, the desperate pranks. The boy crying beneath a broken shrine, asking why nobody saw him as real. Naruto saw Gaara's childhood, the assassination attempts, the fear in every adult face, the uncle who loved him, then tried to kill him. The mother he never knew, the sand protecting him because no one else would. Both boys staggered. Gaara clutched his head. No, no, love is a lie. Naruto's eyes filled with tears. Then why did it hurt when you lost it? Gaara screamed. Sand exploded outward. The domain cracked. Naruto fell to one knee but held it together. Gaara's voice broke. I exist to kill. Naruto shouted back. No, you kill because you don't know how else to prove you exist. The words echoed. Gaara froze. For 1 second, beneath the monster, Naruto saw the child. The lonely child. The one still waiting for someone to say his life meant more than a weapon. The domain shattered. Gaara roared and transformed further. Naruto hit the ground outside the broken circle, exhausted. Sakura remained trapped. Sasuke could barely move. Gaara became monstrous, sand and chakra rising into the shape of Shukaku. Naruto's hands shook. He needed more power, not to rewrite Gaara. To reach him, Naruto bit his thumb. He summoned. Smoke exploded. A gigantic toad landed beneath him, Gamabunta. The boss toad looked around slowly, then down at Naruto. Kid, Naruto, barely standing on his head, grinned weakly. Hey, boss. Gamabunta saw Shukaku, then sighed. Of course. The battle became enormous. Toad against tailed beast, sand against steel, wind against water. Naruto's reality weaving flickered around the edges, too small to dominate but useful in moments. A rule that made one gust of wind split. A rule that made a falling blade strike slightly truer. A rule that kept Sakura's injuries from worsening as long as Naruto could remember the seal. But Gaara was drowning in Shukaku's power. Naruto knew the only way to end it. He launched himself toward Gaara, across sand, across wind, across hatred. He punched Gaara in the face, not with a god rule. Not with fate-breaking power. With his fist, Gaara crashed backwards, stunned. Naruto landed hard, crawling toward him. Both boys were exhausted now, no giant power, no monster forms, just two children who had been used as cages. Gaara stared at Naruto. Why? He whispered. Why do you fight for them? Naruto dragged himself closer. Because they saved me. Gaara's eyes trembled. Naruto collapsed beside him. I was alone too, he said. I hated it. I hated everyone sometimes. I wanted them to hurt like I hurt. Gaara said nothing. Naruto turned his head toward him. But then Iruka-sensei saved me. Kakashi-sensei taught me. Sakura and Sasuke stood beside me. People gave me pieces of themselves. His voice softened. So I don't have to be alone anymore. Gaara's breathing shook. Naruto reached out, not touching him, just offering the possibility. You don't have to be either. For a long time, Gaara did not move, then his eyes closed, the sand lowered. Sakura fell free, caught by Pakkun and one of Naruto's clones before she hit the ground. The battle ended. Konoha survived, but not untouched. The third Hokage died sealing Orochimaru's arms. The village mourned. The sky over Konoha felt heavier for days. Naruto stood at the funeral with rain dripping down his face, unable to tell where rain ended and tears began. Hiruzen had known the truth. He had made mistakes. He had left Naruto alone too often, but he had also watched over him. Protected him, believed he could become more than the fox. Naruto's fists trembled at his sides. He wanted to do it. The thought came before he could stop it. A terrible, beautiful thought. What if death could be corrected? What if the funeral became unnecessary? What if the old man opened his eyes? Reality stirred. The rain around Naruto slowed. Kakashi noticed. Jiraiya noticed faster. He placed a hand on Naruto's shoulder. Don't. Naruto's voice broke. I could try. Jiraiya's grip tightened. And if the price is Konohamaru or Iruka or 10 years of every child in this village, what then? Naruto shook. I hate this. I know. I hate being able to do impossible things and still not being able to fix this. Jiraiya's voice softened. That's why power hurts. Naruto looked at Hiruzen's memorial stone. The rain resumed. He did not rewrite the funeral. He stood through it. He cried through it. He let grief be real. That night, Naruto returned to the cliff above Konoha. Jiraiya found him there hours later. Naruto sat silently, knees pulled to his chest. Above the village, invisible to most eyes, a faint spiral crack shimmered in the clouds. Jiraiya's face darkened. So it's true, he murmured. Naruto looked up. You can see it. Barely. What is it? Jiraiya was quiet for a long time. A scar. Naruto's stomach dropped. In the sky, in reality. Naruto stared at the faint spiral. When I fought Gaara, maybe, or when you showed Neji possibility. Or when you almost reached for the old man, maybe all of it. Naruto swallowed. Can I fix it? Jiraiya did not answer quickly. That scared him more than no. Finally, the Sannin sat beside him. Not yet. Naruto looked down at his hands. What happens if it gets worse? Jiraiya looked at the village below. Then things older than shinobi villages may start paying attention. Far away, beneath the ruins of Uzushiagakure, ocean water pulled back from a sealed chamber that had not opened in generations. Stone spirals glowed red gold. Ancient chains rattled. A voice older than Konoha whispered through the dark. The Weaver wakes. And somewhere beyond life, beyond death, beyond the place where chakra returned to its source, an old sage opened his eyes. Naruto Uzumaki had bent fate. He had touched loneliness. He had refused death. And the world had begun to remember what it had once feared. The first time Naruto heard the word miracle used for him, he hated it. It happened 3 weeks after the third Hokage's funeral. Konoha was still rebuilding, not from broken walls, not mostly. The invasion had damaged buildings, roads, training grounds, and lives, but shinobi villages knew how to repair stone. Stone was easy. Wood could be replaced, roofs could be rebuilt, windows could be reset, people were harder. Everywhere Naruto went, grief lived in corners. At the academy, children spoke more softly. At the market, shops closed earlier. At the memorial stone, fresh flowers appeared every morning and old names felt heavier. The village had survived, but survival did not mean untouched. Naruto understood that now. Before, he had thought winning meant everyone smiled afterward. Now he knew victory could still leave empty chairs. He stood on a half-repaired rooftop with a sealing brush in one hand, staring at a cracked chimney. Beside him, Sakura held a clipboard. Kakashi leaned against a nearby wall, reading his orange book. Jiraiya sat on the roof edge, pretending not to supervise while very clearly supervising. Naruto dipped the brush into ink. Okay, Sakura said carefully. Remember, you are not rebuilding the whole house, you are stabilizing one crack. Naruto rolled his eyes. I know. Kakashi turned a page. Last time you said that, the wall grew eyebrows. They were supportive eyebrows. They judged the construction workers. The workers deserved it. Sakura sighed. Naruto crouched and drew a small spiral seal near the cracked chimney. His handwriting had improved, barely. It no longer looked like a dying worm fighting a thunderstorm. Now it looked like a wounded worm with determination, progress. Naruto placed 2 fingers on the seal. Inside this mark, he whispered, broken stone remembers its shape. The seal glowed. The crack trembled, dust pulled inward. Tiny chips rolled backward across the roof and slipped into place. The chimney repaired itself slowly, carefully, not perfectly new but stable. Naruto held his breath. Nothing exploded, nothing became ramen, no eyebrows. Sakura smiled. Good, Kakashi nodded. Very good, Jiraiya grunted. Finally, Naruto jumped up, pointing at them. Ha, witness genius. The chimney immediately sneezed dust into his face. Naruto coughed violently. Sakura laughed. Even Kakashi's eye curved. Jiraiya stood and walked over, expression more serious now. That was controlled, he said. Naruto wiped soot from his nose. Yeah, small rule, clear anchor, limited effect, no emotional overflow. Naruto grinned. Does that mean I'm ready for bigger stuff? No, Naruto deflated. You ruin everything. Jiraiya looked past him toward the village. Below, workers hammered beams into place. Shinobi carried supplies. Civilians swept broken glass from doorways. Then an old woman near the street looked up. She had been watching Naruto repair the chimney, her hands folded together. A miracle, she whispered. Naruto heard it. His grin faded. The woman did not sound afraid. She sounded grateful. That made it worse. Because Naruto knew what people did with miracles. They expected them to keep happening. They expected pain to stop. They expected the impossible to become normal. And Naruto still remembered standing in the rain at Hiruzen's funeral, feeling reality slow around him while one terrible thought whispered, bring him back. He looked at the repaired chimney, his stomach twisted. I'm not a miracle, he muttered. Jiraiya heard him. The Sannin said nothing. But his face grew darker. That night, Jiraiya took Naruto outside Konoha. They sat beneath the stars near a quiet river, far enough from the village that Naruto could almost pretend the world was simple. Almost. Jiraiya tossed a stone into the water. Ripples spread across the moon's reflection. You know what people fear more than monsters? Jiraiya asked. Naruto lay on the grass, hands behind his head. Old perverts. Jiraiya glared, Naruto grinned, then Jiraiya's voice turned serious, they fear saviors. Naruto's grin disappeared. That makes no sense. It does. Jiraiya picked up another stone. A monster threatens to destroy your home. A savior makes you wonder whether your home only exists because they allow it. Naruto sat up. I wouldn't do that. I know. Then why say it? Because they don't know. The river moved quietly. Jiraiya looked at him. People have seen you stop weapons, bend mist, crack fate, and touch loneliness. Now they've seen you repair broken buildings. Sooner or later, someone will ask you to repair a broken person. Naruto said nothing. Jiraiya's voice softened. When that happens, you need to remember the rules. Naruto looked down at his hands. Chakra is payment, understanding is permission, emotion is fuel. And, Naruto swallowed, people are not things to be rewritten. Jiraiya nodded. A cold wind moved over the river. For a moment, the stars seemed dimmer. Then Jiraiya looked toward the trees. We have company. Naruto stood instantly. Two figures stepped from the darkness. One wore a black cloak covered in red clouds. The other did too. Naruto felt Kurama stir inside him, not fear, recognition, danger. The taller one had blue skin, a massive bandaged sword across his back, and a grin full of teeth. The other had black hair, calm eyes, and a face Sasuke had once described without saying the name. Naruto knew anyway, Itachi Uchiha. The air changed around him, not like Orochimaru. Orochimaru felt like hunger. Itachi felt like a locked door. Jiraiya stepped slightly in front of Naruto. Well, he said lightly, this is awkward. I was hoping for a peaceful evening with my student. Kasama grinned. You picked a bad student for peace. Itachi's gaze moved to Naruto. For 1 second, Naruto felt those eyes touch his mind. The world tilted. Then the river vanished. Naruto stood in the middle of Konoha. But it was wrong. The sky was red. The village was empty. Every building had eyes. Itachi stood before him, cloak unmoving. Genjutsu, Naruto whispered. Itachi said nothing. Naruto clenched his fists. He remembered Kakashi's lessons. Genjutsu controls perception, reality weaving controls rules, but only if he could tell which rule was false. Naruto looked around. The sky was wrong. The silence was wrong. The eyes in the buildings were wrong. But the fear was real. That was the trap. Itachi did not need to create pain. He only needed to give Naruto's pain a room. Naruto closed his eyes. A spiral formed beneath his feet. Inside this circle, he said carefully, false sight casts a shadow. The red village flickered. Every fake building threw a black shadow in the wrong direction. Naruto opened his eyes. There, he punched the nearest shadow. The genjutsu cracked. Naruto gasped back into reality. Only a second had passed. Itachi's eyes narrowed slightly. Jiraiya's hair had already begun to rise, chakra gathering. Kasama looked delighted. He broke it. Itachi remained calm, not fully. He identified its structure. Naruto staggered but stayed standing, his head pounded. Itachi looked at him like someone studying a weapon he did not want to use. You are dangerous, Naruto glared. I get that a lot. You misunderstand. Itachi's voice remained quiet. A dangerous shinobi kills enemies. A dangerous idea changes what people believe is possible. Naruto did not answer. Itachi's gaze shifted toward the faint spiral mark flickering on Naruto's palm. The world will not leave you alone now. Kasama reached for Samehada. Enough talking. Jiraiya moved first. The clearing exploded. Toad oil, fire, water, steel. Kasama's sword tore through chakra like a starving animal. Every time Naruto tried to shape a rule, the blade twitched toward him, eager. Naruto felt it instantly. Samehada did not just cut, it ate, and his reality weaving needed chakra like lungs needed air. Kasama laughed as Samehada drank from one of Naruto's clones, shredding it apart. Your chakra tastes weird, kid, Naruto grimaced. Your sword is ugly, Samehada bristled. Kasama blinked. Did you just insult my sword? It started it. Jiraiya shouted, Naruto, focus. Naruto slapped a tag onto the ground. Inside this circle, stolen chakra loses direction. The domain flashed. Samehada pulled chakra from another clone. The chakra twisted midair and snapped back toward Naruto. Kasama's grin widened. Interesting. Then Samehada tore through the edge of the circle. The rule collapsed. Pain stabbed through Naruto's arms. Jiraiya blocked Kasama's follow-up strike with a massive toad summon, forcing him back. Itachi had not moved much. That scared Naruto more. Itachi watched the domain collapse with quiet understanding. Absorption disrupts the weave, he said. Useful? Naruto hated how calmly he said it. Jiraiya created an opening with a massive flame technique, forcing the Akatsuki pair to retreat. Kasama looked annoyed. Itachi looked unreadable. Before vanishing, Itachi spoke once more. Naruto, Uzumaki, protect your choices. Others will soon try to make them for you. Then they were gone. Naruto stood breathing hard, anger and confusion twisting in his chest. Jiraiya said nothing for several moments. Then Naruto asked the question neither of them wanted. They weren't just after Kurama, were they? Jiraiya's jaw tightened. No, Naruto looked toward the dark trees. They want this too. Jiraiya nodded. The Akatsuki collects monsters, he said. But you, kid, he looked at Naruto with tired eyes. You're a monster that can change the cage. The Akatsuki did not attack again immediately. That made it worse. A visible enemy gave Naruto something to punch. A waiting enemy gave him time to think, and thinking was dangerous. Jiraiya took him away from the village soon after, officially for training, unofficially because Konoha had too many eyes and Naruto had too many secrets. They traveled from town to town. Naruto learned larger domains, not village-sized, not even street-sized, but enough to control a battlefield for seconds. Jiraiya taught him to create layered rules, not multiple full laws at once. That was too dangerous, but one main rule with small conditions. Inside this circle, fire cannot burn those I mark as allies. Inside this circle, lies leave shadows only to my eyes. Inside this circle, stolen chakra returns if taken by force. That last one took weeks and made Naruto faint twice, but he learned it because of Kasama. He learned truth rules because of Itachi. He learned anti-snake counterseals because of Orochimaru. Every enemy became a lesson, and every lesson made Naruto more frightening. Jiraiya watched it happen with pride and dread. One evening, after Naruto managed to create a domain that made falling rain avoid a campfire without stopping the rain itself, Jiraiya sat silently for too long. Naruto noticed. What? Jiraiya looked at the dry firewood surrounded by rainfall. You're getting good. Naruto grinned. Finally admitting it. Yes, the grin faded. Oh, Jiraiya stared into the fire. There'll come a time when someone puts a terrible choice in front of you. Save one person or save many. Let a villain live or stop them forever. Rewrite a tragedy or let grief stand. Naruto sat across from him. And you'll have enough power to cheat. The rain fell around them. Naruto looked at the fire. Isn't cheating good if it saves people? Sometimes, Jiraiya said. That's what makes it hard. Naruto hated that answer. Years passed in travel and training. Naruto returned to Konoha taller, stronger, louder, and somehow even more capable of annoying people professionally. The village had changed. Tsunade was Hokage now. Sakura had become terrifying under her training. Sasuke was gone. That wound sat inside Naruto like an unfinished sentence. Orochimaru had taken him, not fully. Naruto's counterseal had slowed the curse mark's influence. It had given Sasuke moments of resistance, choices, but choices could still be wrong. Sasuke had chosen power, chosen revenge, chosen to leave. Naruto had chased him to the Valley of the End. He had tried everything: fists, words, clones, Kurama's chakra, reality weaving. And in the end, when Sasuke stood before him with lightning in his hand and grief disguised as hatred in his eyes, Naruto had almost done the forbidden thing. He had almost created a rule: Sasuke cannot leave. The words had formed in his heart. One rule, one simple rule. He could have made the valley itself hold Sasuke down. He could have made distance reject him. He could have forced his friend to stay. But Haku's lesson returned. Jiraiya's warning returned. People are not things to be rewritten. So Naruto had not made the rule. Sasuke left. And Naruto carried the pain as proof that love without freedom was just another cage. That pain shaped him, not into bitterness, into resolve. When Gaara was captured by Deidara and Sasori, Naruto felt that resolve burn. The rescue mission became the first time he faced an Akatsuki member who did not want to understand him. Deidara wanted art, explosion, impact, meaning through destruction. He flew above the desert on a clay bird, laughing as Naruto's fury cracked the air. You cannot erase my art, Jinchuriki. Deidara shouted. Art is explosion. Naruto snarled and formed a domain across the sand. Inside this circle, explosions lose fire. Deidara's clay bomb detonated. The fire vanished. The force did not. Naruto was blasted backward, rolling across the sand. Deidara cackled. Wrong concept, yeah. Naruto spat sand. I hate artists. Kakashi appeared beside him. Explosions are not only fire. They are pressure, heat, fragmentation, chakra release, intention. Naruto glared up at the clay bird. So I need a better rule. Yes, Naruto breathed. Anger would make a big rule. A sloppy one. He needed understanding. He watched Deidara's bombs. They were not random. They were shaped, given form, given meaning by chakra. Deidara called them art, and because he believed it completely, his chakra agreed. Naruto could not simply deny explosion, but maybe he could deny completion. He slapped both hands onto the sand. Inside this circle, created weapons must finish becoming themselves before they can destroy. The domain spread. Deidara released smaller bombs. They fell. Then paused mid-transformation, clay bodies twitching, mouths opening and closing, unable to complete the final chakra trigger. Deidara's smile vanished. What? Naruto grinned fiercely. Your art needs a loading screen. Kakashi's visible eye curved. That was actually clever. Sound more surprised, sensei. I am very surprised. The battle still cost them. Gaara died before they reached him. That grief hit Naruto differently because he had saved Gaara once, because Gaara had changed, because Gaara had become Kazekage, loved by the people who once feared him. Naruto stared at his body and felt that terrible whisper return, make death false. His hands shook. The sand around Gaara began to rise. Chiyo moved before Naruto could. She gave her life for Gaara, her choice, her sacrifice. Naruto stood there, helpless and furious, as one life became the price for another. When Gaara opened his eyes, Naruto cried with relief. But he also understood something new. Even resurrection had rules. Even miracles had payment. And sometimes the person who paid had to be the one who chose. The years moved toward war. Akatsuki gathered tailed beasts. Orochimaru fell. Sasuke killed Itachi and learned truths that twisted him further. Jiraiya left to investigate the leader of the Akatsuki. He did not return. That was the wound that nearly broke Naruto. When the news came, the world became too quiet. Tsunade spoke. Fukasaku explained. Sakura cried. Kakashi looked away. Naruto heard all of it from very far away. Jiraiya, the old pervert, the annoying teacher, the man who knew his parents, the man who taught him that power needed limits, gone. Naruto walked out of the Hokage's office without speaking. He went to the training ground where Jiraiya had once made him change the weight of a rock. The clearing was empty. A small gray stone still sat near the edge of the dirt. Naruto picked it up. His fingers closed around it. The sky darkened. Reality held its breath. No, Naruto whispered. The stone cracked. Rain began to fall upward. Leaves froze midair. In the distance, dogs howled. Naruto's grief reached for the world. Bring him back. The thought was not loud. That made it more dangerous. The spiral mark on Naruto's palm burned. The clearing stretched. For 1 second, Naruto saw a path. A rule that could call Jiraiya's final moment backward. A rule that could pull one soul from the edge of wherever souls went. A rule with a cost too vast to see. Naruto almost spoke it. Then a hand touched his shoulder. Kakashi. He said nothing. That was why it worked. No lecture, no warning, no command, just presence. Naruto shook. Kakashi-sensei. Kakashi's voice was quiet. I know. Naruto's face twisted. I can't fix it. No, I have all this power and I can't fix it. Kakashi looked toward the rain falling upward. Maybe the fact that you know that is why Jiraiya trusted you with it. The words broke something smaller and safer inside Naruto. The rain fell normally again. Naruto collapsed to his knees and cried, not as a Jinchuriki, not as a miracle, not as a boy who could bend reality. Just as a student who had lost his teacher. After Jiraiya's death, Naruto trained at Mount Myaboku. Sage mode changed everything. Nature energy did not behave like chakra. Chakra came from within. Reality weaving used chakra to write rules outward. But Sage mode made Naruto feel the world before writing on it. For the first time, he understood that reality was not empty paper. It was alive with motion. Frogs breathing in ponds, roots drinking water, stone holding old heat, wind carrying pollen. Every living thing pressing gently against every other living thing. Naruto had spent years learning how to make the world listen. Sage mode taught him how to listen back. His reality domains became cleaner, stronger, less violent. He could now create rules that worked with nature instead of against it. Inside this circle, force disperses into the earth. Inside this circle, killing intent becomes sound. Inside this circle, pain may be felt but not multiplied. Fukasaku watched him with concern. You're not just using senjutsu, boy. You're negotiating with the world. Naruto smiled faintly, better than yelling at it. The old toad blinked. Who taught you that? Naruto looked up at the sky, a pervy sage. Then pain came to Konoha. The attack began with explosions. By the time Naruto returned, the village was gone, not damaged, gone. A crater stretched where Konoha had stood. Dust filled the air. Smoke rose in silence. Naruto landed in sage mode, red coat swirling, toads around him. For a moment he could not breathe. Konoha, his home. The place that hated him, the place that raised him, the place he wanted to protect, flattened. Pain stood in the ruins like judgment, wearing Akatsuki clouds, 6 bodies, 1 will. Naruto felt the philosophy before the fight began. Pain believed suffering was the only true law, not metaphorically. His chakra carried it. His presence pressed the idea into the world. Pain teaches. Pain unites. Pain is peace. Naruto's fists tightened. Pain looked at him calmly. You are Naruto Uzumaki. Naruto's voice was low. And you're the one who destroyed my village. Yes, no denial, no lie. That made it worse. Pain raised a hand. Through pain, the world will learn peace. Naruto entered stance. No, Pain's eyes did not change. You reject truth because you have not suffered enough. The words struck something deep and old. Naruto's sage mode sharpened. His reality weaving stirred beneath it. You don't know anything about my pain. Pain attacked. The battle shook the crater. Naruto's sage mode let him move like a force of nature. Rasen Shuriken tore through bodies. Toads smashed summons. Clones gathered energy. Each pain had a different ability, a different rule of combat. Absorption, repulsion, summoning, mechanized weapons, soul extraction, shared vision. Naruto adapted. His reality domains appeared in flashes. A circle where shared sight delayed by half a second. A seal where chakra absorption returned a fraction of stolen energy as feedback. A domain where incoming force dispersed into cracked earth, weakening Shinra Tensei just enough for Naruto to survive. Pain noticed everything. You bend the laws of battle, he said. Naruto threw a Rasen Shuriken. Pain absorbed it. I protect people. You delay suffering. Pain's diva path raised a hand. Naruto felt the pressure build. He slammed a palm onto the ground. Inside this circle, force remembers direction. Shinra Tensei erupted. The domain twisted part of the repulsive force backward, tearing the earth between them apart. Naruto still flew, crashing through stone. Pain stepped forward. Your power is proof that my answer is necessary. Naruto pushed himself up. What? Pain's Rinnegan stared into him. A child who can rewrite reality will be feared, hunted, used. If every nation possesses pain great enough to fear war, they will not seek your power. They will not seek any power. Naruto spat blood. So your answer is to hurt everyone. My answer is to make suffering equal. Naruto stood, shaking. That's not peace. It is the only peace humans understand. The fight turned. Pain pinned Naruto with black receivers. Hinata entered the battlefield. Naruto's heart stopped. She stood between him and Pain, trembling but determined. Pain watched her. Love creates pain. Hinata's voice shook. I know. Naruto stared. Hinata run. She did not. She confessed. She fought. She fell. Pain struck her down before Naruto's eyes. Something inside Naruto tore open. Kurama roared. The seal cracked. Reality screamed with him. The crater darkened. The sky bent downward. Black-red chakra erupted, but wrapped inside it was gold, Naruto's reality weaving twisted by grief. The ground around Pain became a nightmare of broken rules. Gravity reversed in patches. Stone became liquid. Shadows grew teeth. The air filled with voices of everyone Naruto feared losing. Pain actually stepped back. For the first time, his calm cracked. Naruto was no longer making a domain. He was becoming one, a living law of grief. The rule forming around him was simple, terrible. No one I love is allowed to be taken. Reality shuddered beneath the command. Far away in Naruto's mind, Minato appeared and repaired the seal before Kurama could fully emerge. Father and son met in a space between rage and ruin. Naruto wanted answers, wanted comfort, wanted to scream. Minato gave him all three in the little time they had. But most importantly, he reminded Naruto of something Jiraiya had left behind. The answer to pain cannot be control, Minato said. Not even loving control. Naruto shook. He took everything. Then choose what you give back. Naruto returned. The monstrous chakra faded. The broken rules collapsed. Hinata lived, barely. Naruto rose in sage mode again. Grief still burning but no longer driving. He defeated the final pain. Then he found Nagato, the true body, thin, ruined, connected to machines. Konan stood nearby, ready to defend him. Nagato looked at Naruto and saw not a weapon, a choice. They spoke. Nagato told him of war, of dead parents, of Yahiko, of dreams crushed beneath nations that used smaller countries as battlefields. Naruto listened, not because he agreed. Because he had to understand the rule before he could challenge it. Finally, Nagato asked, "What is your answer?" Naruto thought of killing him. He did. He thought of creating a rule where Nagato could never harm anyone again. He thought of rewriting Nagato's will, forcing him to believe. The power was there, that terrified him, so Naruto chose words. "I don't know how to fix the whole world yet," he admitted, "but I know your way is wrong." Nagato's eyes narrowed. "That is not an answer." Naruto stepped closer. "No, it's a beginning." Nagato stared. Naruto's voice shook but did not break. "You think pain is the only thing people share, but bonds are real too. Hope is real too. People choosing to understand each other is real too." Nagato laughed bitterly. Pretty words. Naruto raised his hand. A small reality domain formed. Konan tensed. But the rule did not attack. The circle spread gently beneath Naruto and Nagato. Naruto whispered, "Inside this circle, the dead may speak once, but the living must choose what comes next." The air went still. Konan gasped. Nagato's eyes widened. Around them, figures appeared, not fully alive. Not resurrected, not stolen from death. Echoes, final imprints carried by chakra, grief, and memory. Jiraiya stood among them. Yahiko stood beside him. Hiruzen, people from Konoha, people from Rain, not all the dead. Naruto was not powerful enough for that, but enough truth. Jiraiya looked at Nagato with sadness. Yahiko smiled faintly. Nagato shook. "This is not resurrection," Naruto said, voice strained. "Not control, just one moment. The dead did not command, they did not forgive everything, they did not erase pain, they spoke." Yahiko told Nagato that their dream had never been meant to become this. Jiraiya told Naruto he was proud. Hiruzen told him the village had always needed to become worthy of him, not the other way around. Then the echoes faded. Naruto fell to one knee, blood running from his nose. The cost was brutal, but not stolen from others. He had paid with his own chakra, his own stamina, his own connection to memory. Nagato wept, not loudly, not dramatically, but completely. In the end, Nagato chose. He used Rin rebirth. Lives returned to Konoha, not because Naruto forced him. Because Naruto gave him one true choice. When Naruto returned to the village, exhausted and barely standing, the people came to him. For a second, old fear rose, a crowd staring, whispering. Then they lifted him, cheering, crying, calling his name, not demon, not monster, Naruto. He smiled through tears. But above the rebuilt hope of Konoha, unseen by most, the spiral scar in the sky widened. That night, Naruto dreamed. He stood in a place of endless white water under a sky filled with stars. An old man floated before him, wearing robes marked with Tamo and carrying a staff. His eyes were ancient. Naruto knew without being told, the sage of 6 paths. "So," Naruto said slowly, "are you here because I broke something?" The sage's mouth twitched, in a manner of speaking. Naruto groaned. "I knew it." The sage looked around the dream space. "You carry an inheritance older than the villages, older than the tailed beasts, older than the way shinobi now understand chakra." Naruto listened carefully. The sage raised one hand. "In the beginning, chakra was not meant only for battle. Ninshu connected hearts. When people understood each other deeply enough, their shared will could influence the world." Naruto's eyes widened, reality weaving. "A fragment of it," the sage said. "The Uzumaki did not create it. They preserved the safest pieces through seals." "Safest." Naruto repeated. "This is the safe version." The sage's expression saddened. "Human hearts are powerful. When connected by compassion, they can heal nations. When twisted by fear, they can write cages into existence." Images moved across the water. Ancient people joining hands beneath great spirals of chakra, fields healing after war, storms calmed by shared prayer. Then the images darkened, kings forcing loyalty, clans rewriting memories, battles where reality cracked under competing wills. The ability was sealed away, the sage said. Not because it was evil, because humans were not ready to use it without possession. Naruto looked down at his hands. Then why me? The sage studied him. Because you have every reason to force the world to love you, Naruto went still. And yet you keep choosing not to. The words hit harder than praise. The sage turned toward the scarred sky. But your choices are drawing attention. The more you weave, the more the world remembers. Others will seek to use you. Some will call you savior. Some will call you threat. Some will offer you a perfect world. Naruto thought of pain, of Nagato, of the dead speaking once, of Konoha cheering his name. What do I do? The sage's eyes softened. Remember this, reality is not yours. Naruto lifted his head. It belongs to everyone who has the courage to live in it. The dream began to fade. Before it vanished, the sage spoke one final warning. Beware the man who dreams of peace without choice. He will look at your power and see the final prison. Naruto woke before dawn. Konoha was quiet. For the first time in his life, the village felt like home without feeling like a cage. He walked to the Hokage monument and sat atop the fourth's head, watching the sun rise. Kakashi found him there. For a while, neither spoke. Then Naruto said, "Pain thought suffering was the only law everyone understood." Kakashi sat beside him. "And you?" Naruto looked at the village. "I think choice is stronger." Kakashi's visible eye softened. "That sounds like something Jiraiya would have liked." Naruto smiled faintly. "Yeah." Far away, in a hidden chamber beneath earth and illusion, Obito Uchiha listened to reports of Pain's defeat. Naruto had not only beaten the Rinnegan. He had changed Nagato's answer. That was more dangerous than strength. Zetsu emerged from the floor. The Ninetales remains free. Obito stood silently, behind his mask, his single eye narrowed. The Eye of the Moon plan had always required illusion, a dream cast over the world. But Naruto Uzumaki represented something greater. Not illusion, reality. If captured, his power could make the infinite Tsukuyomi permanent. Not a dream people slept inside, a rewritten world where the dream became truth. Obito looked toward the distant direction of Konoha. Naruto Uzumaki. He said quietly, "You are no longer just a Jinchuriki." The air warped around him. "You are the key." And high above the world, beyond clouds in sight, the spiral scar turned once, like an eye opening. War did not begin with a scream, it began with silence, a silence too wide for the world. Across the 5 great nations, villages prepared for something none of them truly understood. Shinobi sharpened kunai. Medics packed bandages. Sensors memorized enemy signatures. Messengers ran until their lungs burned. Kage sat at war tables, staring at maps that suddenly felt too small for the disaster approaching them. For the first time in history, the Shinobi nations stood together, not because they trusted each other, because fear had become larger than pride. Naruto Uzumaki stood on the coast of the island Turtle, watching waves crash against black stone. The sea was restless, so was Kurama. Inside him, behind the seal, the Ninetales paced like a storm-given claws. "They're hiding something from me," Naruto said. Kurama opened one red eye, obviously. Naruto scowled inwardly. "You don't have to sound so happy about it. I enjoy watching humans pretend secrets are strategy." Naruto looked out over the ocean. The allied shinobi forces had moved him away from the battlefield. They said it was for his safety. They said he needed training. They said keeping the Ninetales away from Akatsuki was the smartest move. They were not completely wrong. That was the annoying part, but Naruto could feel the world changing. Every day, the spiral scar above reality widened. He could not always see it with his eyes, but he felt it in his bones. Like pressure before lightning. Like a page being stretched by too much ink. Somewhere, Obito was moving somewhere. Sasuke was walking deeper into darkness. Somewhere, thousands of shinobi were preparing to die while Naruto was being told to wait. He hated waiting. He sat nearby, writing terrible rhymes and pretending not to watch him. The Eight-Tails Jinchuriki had been training Naruto to control Kurama's chakra, but Naruto's problem was no longer only the fox. Kurama's power was enormous. Reality weaving was worse. Because Kurama could destroy mountains. Reality weaving could decide what a mountain meant. B tapped his pencil against his notebook. Yo, blonde bro, face all grim, thoughts too heavy, light too dim. Naruto stared at him. That rhyme hurt me emotionally. B grinned. Good, means you're listening. Naruto sighed and sat down. I can feel it, he said quietly. The war, the fear, everyone's choices pressing against the world. B's expression softened. You hearing chakra? Naruto shook his head. Not just chakra, it's like reality is nervous. B did not laugh. That told Naruto more than any joke could. Inside him, Kurama growled. You are becoming sensitive to the weave. Dangerous. Naruto leaned back on his hands. Everything about me is dangerous. For once, brat, you understand. Naruto closed his eyes. He had been training with Kurama's chakra for days, fighting hatred, pulling power, resisting the fox's malice. But something had changed between them since the fight with Neji. Since pain. Since every moment Naruto had chosen not to open the cage, not to steal control, not to become the monster people expected. Kurama still hated him, mostly, but the hatred had shape now. It was not random. It was old, wounded, proud. A cage could make even a god bitter. Naruto opened his inner eyes and stood before Kurama's bars. The fox stared down at him. What now? Naruto crossed his arms. I need your help. Kurama's tails lashed. You always need my help. No. I need you to choose. The fox went still. Naruto stepped closer. I can take your chakra by force, I know that. B already showed me how. I can fight your hatred, pull your power, lock you down, and use you like every other Jinchuriki before me. Kurama's lips curled, rage gathering. Naruto placed one hand on the seal. But I'm tired of cages. The words settled into the mindscape. Water rippled under Naruto's feet. Kurama's eyes narrowed. You think pretty words erase centuries? No, Naruto said. I think choices start somewhere. The fox laughed bitterly. You speak of choice while standing outside my prison. Naruto looked at the seal, then at the bars. He thought of Jiraiya, of Haku, of Sasuke, of Nagato, of every time someone had tried to decide what peace, love, or salvation should mean for someone else. Slowly, Naruto raised his hand. The seal burned gold. Kurama's eye widened. Brat, I'm not opening it all the way, Naruto said. Not yet, I'm not stupid. Kurama snorted. Debatable. Naruto smiled faintly. But I'm changing the rule. The seal shifted, not broken, rewritten. For years, it had said, hold the beast. Now Naruto added something new. Let him speak. The bars remained, but the silence between them broke. Kurama felt it immediately, not freedom, not full trust, but recognition. For the first time, the seal did not treat him only as a disaster to be contained. It treated him as a being who could answer. Kurama stared down at the boy. Naruto's hand trembled from the strain. I'm going to the war, Naruto said, and I don't want to drag you there like a weapon. The fox's expression twisted. You are a fool. Yeah, a sentimental fool. Probably. A fool who will die. Maybe. Kurama looked away. For a long time, the only sound was water dripping in the mindscape. Then red chakra moved, not violently, not stolen. Given, you lose, Kurama growled. And I will mock you forever. Naruto grinned. If I lose, I'll be dead. I will find a way. Naruto laughed. Outside, on the island turtle, golden chakra erupted around him. B stood. The eight tails rumbled in recognition. Naruto opened his eyes and the world became bright, not because he had conquered Kurama, because for the first time they had made a choice together. The war found him anyway. White Zetsu infiltrators, reanimated shinobi. Madara's name whispered across battlefields like a curse. Naruto tried to obey orders for exactly 7 minutes after learning the truth. Then he broke out. B followed because stopping Naruto was impossible, and also because, in B's words, when destiny calls, you don't let it go to voicemail. Naruto did not understand the second half of that sentence, but he appreciated the support. As he raced toward the battlefield in golden chakra, he felt them. Thousands of lives, thousands of fears, thousands of small choices. Shinobi from villages that had hated each other for generations now stood back to back. Sand-protected leaf, cloud-covered stone. Mist fought beside people it once would have assassinated. The world was not fixed, not even close. But it was trying. That mattered. The first battlefield Naruto reached was chaos. Reanimated shinobi moved with dead eyes and endless bodies. Allied soldiers fought exhaustion itself. Zetsu clones copied friends and turned trust into a weapon. Naruto landed in the middle of it like sunrise hitting a graveyard. Sorry I'm late. A cloud shinobi stared at him. Is that the Nine-Tails Jinchuriki? A stone shinobi gripped his weapon. Naruto heard the old fear beneath the question, monster, weapon, threat. He smiled anyway. Yeah, he said. And I'm here to help. The dead attacked. Naruto moved. Golden chakra arms smashed enemies aside. Shadow clones spread across the field. Rasengan struck with controlled force. But his greatest weapon was not destruction, it was recognition. With Kurama's chakra and Sage Mode sharpened together, Naruto sensed malice hidden under familiar faces. He identified Zetsu infiltrators by the false rhythm of their intent, but when the battlefield grew too tangled, Naruto raised his hand. A spiral spread beneath the soldiers. Some shinobi flinched. Naruto spoke clearly. Inside this circle, stolen faces cast no shadow. The domain opened. Every Zetsu disguised as an ally suddenly stood shadowless under the sun. For one stunned second, the battlefield froze. Then the allied forces struck. The rule lasted only 30 seconds. It was enough. A mist swordsman laughed. He marked them. A sand shinobi shouted, "Protect the Jinchuriki." Naruto almost tripped. Protect him. That was new. A reanimated enemy launched a fire technique toward a group of wounded medics. Naruto turned, palm out. Inside this space, fire remembers it was light before heat. The flames hit the air around the medics and became harmless brightness, washing over them like dawn. The medics stared. Naruto grinned. Keep working. Then he moved to the next battlefield, and the next, and the next. His clones became messengers of impossible hope. One stopped a collapsing cliff by making falling stone wait for 5 seconds. One created a rule where poison could not cross a drawn line. One turned enemy-killing intent into visible red smoke, exposing ambushes. One protected a dying shinobi long enough for medics to reach him. Everywhere Naruto went, the war changed. Not one changed. People stood taller. Fear loosened. For the first time, the allied forces saw the Nine-Tails Jinchuriki not as a weapon hidden from the enemy, but as a boy running himself ragged to keep strangers alive. And high above the world, the spiral scar widened again. Naruto felt it but kept moving. Then Madara Uchiha arrived, not a Baito. Not a rumor, Madara. The real one, reanimated, restored, impossible. His presence struck the battlefield like history had grown tired of being dead. Naruto reached the division too late to prevent the first devastation. Madara moved through the allied forces like a storm with a human face. Taijutsu crushed lines, fire swallowed formations, wood release erupted from earth. The Sharingan spun. Then the Rinnegan opened, the sky changed, a meteor descended. For one terrible moment, everyone simply stared upward. It was too large, too final. Naruto's instincts screamed, rewrite it. Make it mist, make it light, make it sand, make it nothing. His chakra flared, the spiral scar above reality pulsed. Anoki flew upward, trying to stop the meteor. Gaara's sand rose. Shinobi poured everything into defense. Naruto slammed his hands together. Kurama snarled inside him. Careful, brat. Naruto knew, a rule that large could kill him, or worse, take the cost from the battlefield, so he did not try to erase the meteor. He created a narrow rule instead, a small truth placed at the point of impact. Inside this mark. Naruto whispered, golden chakra spreading through his clones and allies. Force must be shared by every willing hand. The domain did not cover the meteor. It covered the people resisting it. Suddenly, chakra linked across the battlefield. Not stolen, not forced, offered stone shinobi. Sand shinobi, leaf shinobi, cloud shinobi, mist shinobi, hands rose, chakra moved together. Anoki's back straightened under impossible weight. Gaara's sand hardened. Naruto's clones poured power into the weave. The meteor slowed, cracked, broke. The battlefield erupted in cheers. Then Madara summoned the second meteor. Silence returned. Naruto stared upward. For 1 second, despair opened its mouth. Then Kurama spoke. He is testing the limits. Naruto clenched his teeth. Yeah, and Naruto's golden chakra burned brighter. Then we show him limits aren't the same as defeat. The second impact still devastated the battlefield. People died. Naruto could not save everyone. That truth hit harder than the meteor. When the dust cleared, Madara stood untouched among ruin. His eyes found Naruto. So, Madara said, voice calm. You are the Uzumaki who writes laws. Naruto stepped forward, shaking with exhaustion and anger, and you're the old ghost who should have stayed dead. A few surviving shinobi made strangled noises that might have been laughter or terror. Madara's mouth curved faintly. I have seen many powers. Eyes that copy, eyes that command, beasts that destroy mountains, wood that suppresses gods, his gaze sharpened. But you are different. Naruto said nothing. Madara looked up at the scar only he, Naruto, and a few others could sense clearly. You wound the world when you refuse its limits. Naruto's fists tightened. I refuse people like you. Madara's amusement faded. You think freedom is kindness. It is not. Freedom created war. Choice created betrayal. Desire created this entire shinobi system. He spread his arms to the battlefield. Look around you. This is your precious reality. Naruto looked bodies, smoke, blood, crying, fear. Madara's voice lowered. I offer an end. The world seemed to darken around him. A dream without loss, peace without betrayal, love without death. A reality rewritten so completely that no child ever cries alone again. The words slid under Naruto's skin. No child ever cries alone again. For a moment, he was back beneath the abandoned shrine, small, wet, asking what he had done wrong. Madara noticed the flicker. You understand, he said. Your power is not meant for small repairs and battlefield tricks. You could correct existence itself. Naruto's heart pounded. Madara stepped closer. Join me, Naruto Uzumaki. Together we could make a perfect world. Kurama growled. Do not listen. Naruto's eyes lowered. A perfect world, Jiraiya alive, Hiruzen alive, Minato and Kushina waiting at home. Sasuke smiling without hatred. Gaara never used as a weapon. Nagato never broken. No wars, no graves, no empty swing. The temptation was not ugly. That was what made it terrifying. It was beautiful. Naruto looked at Madara. And who chooses what perfect means? Madara's eyes narrowed. Naruto's voice grew stronger. You, Madara did not answer. Naruto took one step forward. That's not peace. That's you getting tired of people disagreeing with your dream. Madara's chakra rose. Naive child. Yeah, Naruto said. People keep saying that. Golden chakra flared around him. But I'd rather be naive than turn the whole world into one man's bedroom fantasy. Madara's face hardened. The battle resumed. Naruto could not defeat Madara alone. No one could. The 5 Cage arrived. The allied forces regrouped. Killer Bee joined him. Might Guy and Kakashi fought like legends carved into motion. But Madara was only one half of the nightmare. Obito was the other. When Naruto finally faced the masked man on the battlefield, the air itself felt twisted. Obito's Kamui did not bend reality like Naruto did. It rejected contact with it. Space folded around him. Attacks slipped through. Distance became meaningless. He existed halfway between here and elsewhere. Naruto hated fighting him immediately. It felt like trying to punch a bad explanation. Obito watched Naruto through the single eye hole of his mask. You've grown. Naruto's eyes narrowed. You've been watching. Yes, creepy. Obito ignored that. You still believe this world is worth saving. I know it is. Obito looked across the battlefield. Then you learned nothing from pain. Naruto's jaw tightened. I learned plenty. You learned how easily hope dies. No, I learned hope can survive being wrong. Obito's chakra shifted behind his mask. Something angry moved. You speak as if choice is sacred. But choice took Rin from me. Choice made Kakashi fail. Choice made Minato late. Choice created every loss you pretend has meaning. Naruto went still. He knew that tone, not from Obito, from himself, from the version in the mirror with cold red eyes, the one that had stopped caring. Obito stepped closer. The infinite Tsukuyomi is not a prison. It is mercy. Naruto shook his head. It's surrender. It is salvation. It is control. Obito's voice sharpened. What is the difference to the suffering? Naruto answered quietly. Whether they get to wake up. The mask cracked later in battle, not from Naruto's words alone, from fists, from Kakashi's Kamui. From truth catching up to lies. When Obito's face was revealed, Kakashi froze. Naruto felt the grief explode between them. It was old, complicated, heavy enough to bend both men. Obito's story spilled out in fragments. Rin, war, Madara, the cave, the dream. Naruto listened, breathing hard. He could have hated Obito easily, part of him did, but another part saw a boy crushed under a rock, waking to a world that had already taken too much. Abaito was not empty. He was full of pain that had rotted into certainty. And certainty was always dangerous. The Ten-Tails awakened. There were no words large enough for it. It was not a beast like Kurama. Kurama had hatred, pride, memory, voice. The Ten-Tails felt like raw origin, a thing before names, before mercy, before people separated chakra into selves and stories. When it roared, the spiral scar split open wider than ever. Naruto dropped to one knee, clutching his chest. The world screamed inside him. Kurama braced himself. The source is reacting to you. Naruto gasped. To me, to the weave, to the Ten-Tails, to all of it. The battlefield distorted. Not under Naruto's command, under pressure. Gravity flickered, distances stretched. Old jutsu behaved wrong. A fireball became snow. A kunai fell upward. A dead tree bloomed, then turned to ash. The world was losing certainty. Madara smiled. Abaito raised his hand toward Naruto. You see. Reality is already breaking. Your power can stabilize it. My dream can give it one shape forever. Naruto forced himself up. No, Abaito's voice became almost gentle. You are tired, I know. You save one person, 10 more fall. You protect one village, another burns. You give people choices, and they choose hatred again. Naruto's hands shook. Abaito stepped closer. Let it end. For one heartbeat, Naruto felt everyone, the terrified allied forces, the hatred of Madara, the grief of Kakashi, the confusion inside Abaito, the rage of the tailed beasts. The distant flicker of Sasuke returning to the battlefield with his own impossible answers, so many wills, so many contradictions, so many ways the world could break. Naruto closed his eyes. He did not force reality to listen. He listened first. Sage mode opened him to the earth. Kurama opened him to the tailed beasts. His Uzumaki blood opened him to seals. His heart opened him to the people around him. Then Naruto did something he had never done before. He did not create a circle. He became the anchor. Golden seals spiraled across his arms, chest, and face. Kurama's chakra cloak expanded, but instead of burning like flames, it unfolded like a living script. Every step Naruto took wrote light into the ground. Kakashi stared. He's not making a domain. B's voice lowered. He is the domain. Kurama's chakra and Naruto's will join, not perfectly. Not permanently, but honestly. For the first time, Naruto entered the state Jiraiya had feared and the sage had warned about, living law. Naruto opened his eyes. The battlefield stilled around him, not frozen, listening. Abaito's eye widened. Madara's smile vanished. Naruto spoke. Inside my reach. The words shook the air. Naruto nearly stopped. He felt how easy it would be, how easy to say. No one dies, how easy to say. Enemies cannot fight, how easy to say. Everyone understands me, how easy to become God. His voice trembled, then steadied. Inside my reach, no will may be stolen. The rule exploded outward, not across the entire world, not even the entire battlefield, but far enough. The Ten-Tails' control faltered where Naruto's chakra touched. Shinobi trapped by fear found their bodies moving again. Tailed beast chakra locked under Abaito's domination stirred. The rule did not make anyone good. It did not force courage. It only returned ownership. People had to choose what to do with it. The allied forces roared. Sasuke arrived in flame and lightning, standing beside Naruto with eyes that carried storms. Naruto turned. Sasuke. Sasuke looked at the battlefield, then at Naruto. You're still doing things the hard way. Naruto grinned despite everything. You came back. I came to destroy the current system. Still counts. Sasuke's eyes narrowed. Do not misunderstand me. Naruto's smile softened. I don't. For a moment, old Team 7 existed again in the middle of the apocalypse. Sakura joined them, fists glowing with monstrous strength. Kakashi stood behind them. Even with the world breaking, Naruto felt something settle. A bond, not perfect, not repaired, but real. They fought together. Against Abaito, against the Ten-Tails, against despair wearing the language of mercy. Naruto's living law let him touch the tailed beasts inside the Ten-Tails chakra. He heard them, felt them, not as weapons, not as fragments, as beings. Shukaku's sharp pride, Matatabi's quiet flame. Aisabu's slow patience, Son Goku's stubborn dignity, Kokuo's reserved strength, Seiken's strange softness, Chomai's bright joy, Juki's loyalty, Kurama's fierce, unwilling care. Naruto reached for them, not to command, to ask, help me pull. For a moment, the tailed beasts were silent. Then one by one, they answered. Chakra chains of golden Uzumaki light burst from Naruto's body, but they were different from the chains of imprisonment used on Kurama. These chains had open links, not cages, connections. Every allied shinobi Naruto had touched with chakra grabbed hold. The rules spread through them. What was taken by force may be reclaimed by choice. They pulled. Abido screamed. The tailed beasts tore free. The Ten-Tails' power collapsed inward. Abido fell, but Madara remained, and Madara had waited long enough. He became the Ten-Tails' Jinchuriki. The battlefield changed again. Madara no longer felt like a shinobi. He felt like an answer carved into arrogance. White robes. Black truth-seeking orbs. Rinnegan. Power that pressed down on the world like a final sentence. Naruto's living law flickered. Madara looked at him. Now you see the difference between borrowing reality and owning it. Naruto's breathing was ragged. I don't want to own it. That is why you will lose. Madara attacked. Truth-seeking orbs erased matter. Limbo shadows struck from unseen space. Wood, chakra, gravity, and ancient power combined into something overwhelming. Naruto and Sasuke fought together, receiving power from the sage of 6 paths in the space between life and death. But even as Naruto gained 6 paths chakra, his reality weaving evolved with it. Now he understood something deeper. Reality was not made of objects. It was made of relationships, heat to flame, body to soul, choice to consequence, name to self, bond to memory. A true rewrite did not change things randomly. It changed relationships. That understanding made Naruto terrifying. He could make Madara's attacks lose connection to their target. He could make wounds remember the body's intended shape. He could make a battlefield reject forced domination for seconds at a time. But Madara was still too much. Then Madara cast Infinite Tsukuyomi. The moon opened its eye. Light fell over the world. One by one, people froze. Dreams swallowed them. The allied forces stopped fighting. Their faces softened. Roots rose. The world became quiet, beautiful, deadly. Naruto and Sasuke survived inside Suzanu's protection, shielded from the moon's light. Outside, everyone slept. Naruto pressed one hand against the purple wall of Sasuke's Susanoo. He could feel them dreaming, every person, every wish, every wound given a perfect answer. Parents returned. Lovers reunited, wars undone, failures corrected, dead children alive again. Lonely hearts loved without fear. Naruto's breath caught. Sasuke watched him carefully. Do not be fooled. Naruto's voice was quiet, I know. But he did not sound certain, because the dreams were not ugly. That was the cruelty. A bad prison could be rejected. A beautiful prison asked why freedom was worth pain. Then Madara appeared before them within the dreamlight, his voice calm and victorious. You still resist because you do not understand mercy. Naruto turned to him. Madara lifted one hand. The Susanoo walls faded from Naruto's sight. Suddenly, Naruto stood in Konoha, not destroyed, not fearful, warm, alive. Children ran through clean streets. Villagers smiled at him without hesitation. The sky was blue. The air smelled of ramen and spring. Naruto, he turned. Kushina Uzumaki stood at the end of the street, red hair bright as sunset, hands on her hips. Minato stood beside her, smiling gently. Naruto froze. His heart broke so fast he could not breathe. Kushina marched forward and pulled him into a hug, a real hug, warm, fierce. Mother, Naruto shook. Mom. She held him tighter, my baby. Minato placed a hand on his head. We're proud of you. Naruto made a sound that was almost a sob. He knew it was not real, he knew, but knowing did not make wanting disappear. The scene shifted. Jiraiya sat outside a bathhouse, laughing loudly. Hiruzen smoked his pipe beneath the Hokage hat. Neji stood alive beside Hinata. Nagato and Yahiko walked through rain under sunlight. Gaara played with children in the sand. Sasuke stood beside Itachi, both at peace. No curse marks, no graves, no hatred. Madara's voice moved through the perfect world. This is what your power could preserve, not illusion. With you, Naruto, it could become reality. Naruto stared. The temptation opened like a door. He could do it. That was the worst part. With the Ten-Tails, the moon, the god tree, Sasuke's eyes, Kurama's chakra, and his reality weaving, maybe he really could make the dream permanent. Not a genjutsu, a corrected world, a kind world, a world where nobody had to endure what he endured. Naruto looked at Kushina. She smiled at him with all the love he had wanted as a child. His hands trembled. Then he saw it. A small thing. Across the street, a child dropped a toy. Before the child could cry, the toy jumped back into their hands. They smiled. A man began to argue with a shopkeeper. Before anger could form, both faces softened into agreement. A shinobi reached for a kunai during training. The weapon became a flower because conflict had no place here. Naruto's breath slowed. No one chose, no one hurt, no one changed, no one truly lived. Happiness filled every face. But freedom was gone from every eye. Naruto stepped back from Kushina. Her smile faltered. "Sweetie," his voice broke. "I love you." The dream trembled. "I love you so much." Minato's expression saddened, as if some part of the dream understood. Naruto wiped his eyes. "But you're not allowed to be the chain that makes me give up on everyone else." The perfect Konoha cracked. Madara's voice hardened. "You would choose suffering?" Naruto looked up. "I choose reality." The dream shattered. Naruto stood again beside Sasuke within Susanoo. Tears ran down his face, but his eyes were clear. Sasuke stared at him for a long moment. Then he said quietly, "You rejected them." Naruto swallowed. "No, I accepted that they're gone." Sasuke looked away. For once, he had no insult. Together, they broke through. The final battle moved beyond ordinary war. Madara's plan collapsed into betrayal when Kaguya emerged, ancient and alien, taking the chakra of the world into herself. She was not like Madara or Obito. Madara wanted to control reality. Obito wanted to escape it. Kaguya wanted to reclaim it. To her, all chakra was stolen property. All lives were branches grown from her seed. All choices were errors. Her dimensions swallowed Team 7, lava, ice, desert, gravity, acid. Each world had its own laws, and Kaguya controlled them with terrifying ease. Naruto realized quickly that he was not the only one who could impose rules. Kaguya did not write reality like in Uzumaki. She owned the roots of chakra that reality had grown around. Against her, Naruto's reality weaving was smaller, but smaller did not mean weaker. Kaguya changed entire dimensions. Naruto changed moments. A moment where gravity loosened enough for Sakura to breathe. A moment where Sasuke's path reconnected across space. A moment where Kakashi's Kamui struck true. A moment where an attack meant to erase, Naruto instead lost its name for one heartbeat and became only light. Kaguya grew more desperate. Black Zetsu hissed from her sleeve. "You are nothing but a fragment." Naruto grinned, battered and burning. "Yeah, fragments make pretty good mosaics." Sasuke shouted, "That was terrible." Not the time. With Team 7 working together, they sealed Kaguya. Not because Naruto overpowered the origin of chakra alone, because Sakura struck at the perfect moment, because Kakashi used borrowed eyes and old grief with precision. Because Sasuke trusted Naruto for 1 second longer than his pride wanted, because Naruto connected every opening. The seal closed, Kaguya vanished, the dimensions collapsed, the infinite Tsukuyomi began to unravel for a moment. Victory felt possible. Then Sasuke spoke. "I will become Hokage." Naruto turned. The words were calm, too calm. Sasuke stood beneath the broken sky, Rinnegan cold, sharing in burning. "I will erase the current system. I will carry all hatred alone. I will become the single shadow that controls the world's peace." Naruto closed his eyes. There it was, the last cage. Not Madara's dream, not Obito's mercy, not Kaguya's ownership, Sasuke's answer, peace through one person's control. Naruto opened his eyes. "No." Sasuke looked at him. "You knew this was coming." "Yeah, then you know words will not stop me." Naruto smiled sadly. "I know." Their final battle happened at the Valley of the End, again. The statues of Hashirama and Madara watched as two boys carried the future of the world in their fists. Sasuke fought with lightning, flame, space-time, and stolen-tailed beast chakra. Naruto fought with Kurama, sage mode, six paths power, and reality weaving pushed to its limit. But this time, Naruto understood Sasuke too well to simply overpower him. Sasuke wanted to become the world's enemy so no one else had to fight. It was sacrifice twisted into tyranny. Love poisoned by control, Naruto could have ended it. Once, during the battle, Sasuke overextended. His Rinnegan focused on a space-time shift. His chakra alignment opened for half a breath. Naruto saw the rule. It was so easy. Inside this valley, Sasuke cannot leave hatred behind him. No. That was wrong. Another rule came. Inside this valley, Sasuke's hatred becomes dust. No, too much. Inside this valley, Sasuke understands me. Naruto almost spoke it. Almost. A rule of understanding. A rule that could finally make Sasuke feel everything Naruto had tried to say for years. It would end the fight, it would save him. It would also violate everything Naruto had chosen to protect. Sasuke saw the hesitation. Do it, Sasuke said coldly. Use your miracle. Prove peace depends on force. Naruto's eyes widened. Sasuke's expression twisted. That is what this world is. The stronger will always decide reality for the weaker. Naruto lowered his hand. No, Sasuke attacked. Naruto took the hit. Lightning tore across his side. Kurama roared. Naruto crashed into the water below, then rose slowly. Sasuke stared. Why? Naruto spat blood. Because I'm not here to rewrite you. He lifted his fists. I'm here to fight you until you stop lying to yourself. Sasuke's face broke into fury. They fought until avatars of Fox and Susanoo shattered the valley. They fought until chakra emptied. They fought until gods became exhausted boys again. Finally, they lay on broken stone, both missing an arm, blood mingling between them. The sky above them was quiet. Sasuke stared upward. You could have forced me. Naruto breathed painfully. Yeah, why didn't you? Naruto turned his head. Because then I'd lose you. Sasuke's eyes shifted. Naruto smiled weakly. I don't want a fake Sasuke who agrees with me because I wrote better rules. I want the annoying bastard who chooses to come back after being wrong for a very long time. For a moment, Sasuke said nothing. Then his breath shook, not quite a laugh, not quite a sob, maybe both. You really are an idiot, Naruto grinned. Yeah, Sasuke closed his eyes. I lost. Naruto's smile softened. No, Sasuke looked at him. Naruto stared at the sky. We're both still here. That means we can choose again. The infinite Tsukuyomi was released. The world woke, not perfect, not healed. But awake. In the weeks after the war, people wanted answers. What had Naruto become? A hero? A threat? A god? Some demanded he use his power to rebuild every destroyed village. Some begged him to bring back the dead. Some feared him too much to speak near him. Some worshipped him. Naruto hated worship more than hatred. Hatred at least looked him in the eye. Worship turned him into a thing again. A miracle. A symbol. A tool. So Naruto made one final decision. Deep beneath Konoha, in a chamber built with help from Sakura, Kakashi, Tsunade, Yamato, the surviving Uzumaki records, and Sasuke's reluctant genius, Naruto created the largest seal he had ever attempted. Not a prison. A limiter. A choice made permanent. Spirals covered the floor. Ceiling chains hung from stone pillars. Kurama watched from within Naruto, unusually quiet. Sasuke stood at the edge of the chamber. You are giving up power. Naruto knelt at the center of the seal, most of it. You could fix nations with this. Maybe. You could prevent future wars. Maybe. You could become the final authority. Naruto looked at him. That's why I'm sealing it. Sasuke's eyes narrowed. The world may need this power again. Naruto smiled faintly. Then the world can ask. He placed both hands on the seal. Golden light rose around him. The reality weaving inside Naruto answered, not happily. Power never liked being limited. The chamber shook. Memories flashed around him. The shrine, the mirror, Uruka's shuriken becoming paper, Haku's choice, Neji's possible futures, Gaara's loneliness, Nagato's dead speaking once. Madara's perfect world, Sasuke lying beside him in blood and silence. Naruto breathed in, then spoke the final rule. From this day forward, my power may protect, heal, reveal, and connect. The seal burned brighter, but it may not rule. The chamber cracked. Kurama's chakra wrapped around him, helping stabilize the cost. Naruto continued, voice shaking. It may not steal choice. The spirals rose from the floor, wrapping around his arms. It may not rewrite a living will. Blood ran from his nose. Sakura stepped forward, but Kakashi held her back. Naruto smiled through the pain. And it may never make the world mine alone. The seal closed, light vanished, Naruto collapsed. When he woke, the world felt quieter. For the first time since childhood, reality was not constantly leaning toward him, waiting for instruction. It was simply there. Messy, painful, beautiful, free. Naruto became Hokage years later, not quickly, not easily. He studied. Failed paperwork, learned diplomacy, fell asleep in meetings. Got yelled at by Sakura. Got mocked by Sasuke from a distance. Trained harder, listened more. He kept some reality weaving. Small things. A seal that kept hospital wounds from worsening for 1 hour. a rule that helped disaster shelters resist fire. A truth circle used only with consent during peace negotiations. A protective charm for children who felt alone at night. He never brought back the dead. He never erased grief, he never forced peace, and because of that, people slowly stopped calling him a miracle. They called him Hokage. On the day he took the hat, Naruto stood before the village. The crowd was enormous. Once, that many eyes would have terrified him. Now he saw faces. Iruka crying openly, Kakashi pretending not to, Sakura smiling with pride, Sasuke watching from a rooftop, half hidden in shadow, Hinata standing near the front, eyes warm, Gaara among the cage, calm and proud. The village waited. Naruto looked toward the Hokage monument, toward stone faces. Toward the boy who had once shouted at them just to be seen. Then he spoke. I used to think becoming Hokage meant everyone would finally acknowledge me. The crowd grew quiet. Naruto smiled. But now I think it means acknowledging everyone else first. A soft wind moved through Konoha. No reality shift, no golden law, just wind. Naruto continued. This world is not perfect. It hurts people. It loses people. It makes mistakes. Sometimes it feels so broken that you wish someone could just rewrite it. His hand touched the Hokage hat. But a world fixed by one person becomes that person's world. I don't want that. He looked at them all. I want our world. The crowd erupted. Cheers rose into the sky. For one brief moment, high above the village, the old spiral scar shimmered. Then slowly it closed, not because Naruto forced it. Because the world no longer needed to fear him. That evening, after the ceremony, Naruto stood alone at the old abandoned shrine in the forest. The roof had finally collapsed. Moss covered the stone fox. The broken mirror still lay near the altar. Naruto crouched before it. For years, the mirror had shown him possibilities. Cruel ones, lonely ones, glorious ones, godlike ones. Now it showed only his reflection, older, tired, smiling. Kurama's voice rumbled inside him. You could have been a god. Naruto laughed softly. Sounds like a lot of paperwork. Kurama snorted. You are hopeless. Yeah, Naruto reached out and touched the broken mirror. For once, he did not repair it. The cracks remained, but the reflection still held. Naruto smiled. Broken things can still show the truth. He stood and turned back toward the village. Behind him, the mirror caught the last light of sunset. For one heartbeat, it reflected the other Narutos again. The cruel one, the lonely one, the godlike one, the Hokage. Then they faded, all except the one walking home. The real one, Naruto Uzumaki. The boy reality refused to break. The man who refused to own it. And the Hokage who chose, every day, to let the world remain free.